football against Croatia. You in a way, you want to struggle a little bit. Not play bad, play okay, struggle a little bit, winning 1-0 or 2-1 or whatsoever. Well, 1-0 preferably, and build your confidence and go on.
What have you made of Thomas Tuchel and the way he's handled the job so far? Are you impressed with him, Jim?
I like him. I like him a lot. He's got that likability. I was fortunate to sit next to him or sit close to him when first of all with the Chelsea games, when he comes and watch Chelsea, but also with the final of the FA Cup, and when all the players came past him, he had an interaction with all players, and you could see the facial expression of all players. They all really like him, and all really take the time with him. Even his previous players, the foreign players. So that says a lot about a manager. You know, Gab, you know yourself. Yep. Some managers you just don't.
talkSPORT Sports Update, brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
And Platcher, good afternoon. Thomas Tuchel is very excited to get going and wants to make England fans proud. Just shy of 5 hours until kick-off against Croatia in Group L, and the England boss admits it doesn't feel like long ago they were touching down stateside.
Flew by, time flew by. We had a lot to do, and we had the full focus was on us, but time flew really. It went so quick, so it's hard to believe that we're already 16 days here.
Croatia have been the ultimate party poopers for England over the years, denying them a place at Euro 2008 and more recently beating them in the 2018 World Cup semi-final. Skipper Harry Kane's told talkSPORT lessons have been learned since then.
A difficult ending for us. I feel like we was inexperienced in that moment to say. I don't think there was many people around the world expecting England to get to that semi-final. We got there through hard work and great performances, and then we just fell at the final hurdle. You know, it was small margins, but I felt like on that day they just had a bit more experience.
Build up to our live commentary from the Dallas Stadium gets underway at 7 here on talkSPORT. Before that, over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear Portugal v DCR from 6. Real Madrid's new signing Bernardo Silva will be in the lineup. Rangers have confirmed that Danny Roll has left the club for RB Salzburg by mutual agreement. Derek McInnes is set to replace him at Ibrox. And it's been a day for England's debutants at the Oval. Watching the second test for talkSPORT, Sam Ellard.
Yeah, New Zealand 162 for 4 approaching tea. They went to lunch 75 for 2, so 2 wickets for England in the afternoon session. Nichols chopping on to tongue for 24, and then it was Sonny Baker on debut getting Rachi Ravindra his first ever test wicket. Daryl Mitchell dropped on 2 at leg slip. Jordan Cox on debut himself dropping not an easy chance, but a chance he should have taken. Mitchell's moved on to 28, Blundell's on 21. This partnership for the 5th wicket is now worth 52 runs. New Zealand building nicely as we go to tea on day 1. There are 159 for 4, Fletch.
There's plenty more on the live blog at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
A healthcare worker has been cautioned for trying to sell Princess Kate's private medical records, and as speculation mounts over the Labour leadership, the Prime Minister is insisting he's not angry nor bitter. More with Emma at past.
talkSPORT weather, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Hot and sunny as the warm weather sets in for the next few days. Outbreaks of rain in the west and the north.
This is World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent, live from O'Neill's in Wardour Street as we build up to England's first World Cup game against Croatia. Coming up today, we'll hear from our very own Faye Carruthers after she caught up with Thomas Tuchel and Harry Kane. Alex Crook and Adrian Durham join us from Dallas ahead of kick-off tonight. We're also going to look back on an unbelievable night of World Cup action as the big names really came to the party. But who is the best player at this tournament this summer? And we'll keep you right up to date with Portugal versus Congo, which is live over on talkSPORT 2 from 6 p.m. All of that, plus we're going to be joined by former Premier League boss Alan Pardew to look ahead to this evening's action. This is Drive on talkSPORT, and you too can get involved. 03717 223344 is the phone number to call. Now, England will be getting the World Cup underway against Croatia tonight. And of course, it's live right here on talkSPORT.
It's Kieran Trippier. Oh, it's in! What a start for England! Inside the opening 5 minutes.
We're not the top favourites. We can't be because we haven't won it for so many years.
Throw taken. Rodgers, left footed, beaten away and headed in for 3-0 by Ollie Watkins.
Thomas Tuchel will be quite pleased with some of the stuff he's seen today, without a doubt.
That's one to give England confidence.
To win it with England, it is a dream come true for me. So if there's still anyone doubting, we have to convince them on the pitch.
They're facing an ageing side. They're facing a side that are probably not at their pomp as they were a couple of years ago.
Checks back onto his right again. Oh, what a goal! What a goal from Luka Modric!
We should not be worried about Croatia. We really shouldn't. And that's what England fans have to do. Believe in the manager and trust.
We compete for the trophy, we dream big, and we want to go all the way.
Absolutely buzzing for this. England face Croatia live on talkSPORT tonight as we get our World Cup underway. It's a 9 p.m. kickoff with all the build-up that you will need with Adrian Durham and the team when we're done at 7 p.m. Helping me now dissect exactly what is going to happen tonight. I am so looking forward to it. England take on Croatia in Texas. It's the wonderful Darren Bent. Darren, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to the game tonight. I mean, buzzing where we are today. Obviously, Wardour Street, O'Neill's, fantastic set-in. Everyone's obviously in World Cup spirits as well, flags everywhere. And yeah, the game tonight, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, you mentioned it at the top there in terms of the big boys got going last night. I'm sure we're going to talk about that later, but I said we had a discussion, didn't we? Was it last week or this week about Kane, Mbappe, Haaland?
Yeah. No, you were spot on.
Mbappe, when it comes to World Cups, mate, Mbappe, you don't muck around. But no, I'm excited to see what England bring tonight.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting. But you are right. All of the big boys going into this tournament, it feels like they've all hit the ground running.
They all have. Yeah, I mean, you can question maybe Vinicius Junior's performance, but he scored a great goal. I mean, Messi was the one last night. I didn't expect that from him, even though he is for me the greatest player to ever live. Mbappe, I did expect that. I spoke about that. Haaland getting his customary two. It just feels like everyone getting going. You spoke about Isaac and Gyökeres, them two for Sweden scoring goals. So I think the World Cup's got off to an unbelievable start.
Yeah, it really does feel like that. And obviously, with all the big names that you just mentioned there finding the back of the net already, do you think that's added pressure on Harry Kane?
No, I think for someone who's Harry Kane, I mean, over 60 goals this season, I don't think he necessarily feels the pressure. I don't think he just looks at it that way. I think he looks at it like, what can he do for England? How can I help? What can I do that will benefit England to win this game against Croatia? I expect them to do that. Whereas on the flip side for Ronaldo, he would have looked at what Messi did last night and gone, do you know what?
Yeah, he's
seething. I can't have that. I've got to outdo him. So, listen, I'm buzzing about the game. I expect England to win. Listen, Croatia have got good players, but I think it was Stuart Pearce we heard. Maybe some of them, their better years are behind them. They're still top players, don't get me wrong. But when you look at the age and this England squad, some of the hungry players we've got, I just fancy England to win this first game.
You think we'll get it done? This is the toughest test in the group, isn't it?
I think so. I think Ghana will be a tough test as well. But Croatia, with the experience they've got, the likes of Modric, you just know how has been there, seen it, done that. Yeah, I still expect England to get the job done for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, England boss Thomas Tuchel has been speaking to our very own Faye Carruthers ahead of this one. And he was asked what he's expecting from Croatia tonight.
It's a very experienced team, a very experienced coach, especially in tournament football, a very successful coach, very successful nation. a very proud nation, very emotional teams, especially in all ball sports. So they're famously good in basketball, in handball, in football. So that's what it is. They're fantastic individual players all the time. The core of their game is a little bit shifted from the midfield to the back three. We expect them tomorrow with 2 midfielders, not with 3, but it's still Modric and Kovacic, which is the heart of them, which they set the tone, they set the rhythm, and it's still a main threat is still Perisic on the side with his dangerous crosses. So they're very strong on the ball. We need to break their rhythm. We need to be brave and courageous. That's what we want to do.
I know we're in an air-conditioned stadium tomorrow, but you've said before that the players out here in these conditions are going to suffer if they don't have the ball. Yet we know Croatia are a team that like to keep the ball. So what's the message there?
Well, first of all, no, we don't need to talk about the conditions. Conditions are perfect. The venue is just unbelievable. We've just had a peek and never seen anything like that. The temperature is perfect. So we try to make a Premier League match out of it. And I think that suits us.
That's your statement again, the Premier League match out of it. You know then if you don't go out with that kind of energetic football, what people will say. What I want is something more from you in terms of personally how you feel. You've just said how incredible that stadium looks out there. Yeah. What's it going to be like and where does it rank in your career for you, leading out England tomorrow at a World Cup?
Very, very high. I had one of my best 2 weeks in coaching in the last 2 weeks, thanks to everyone who supported me, thanks to the team first of all, and then thanks to the staff and to my closest staff, of course, who support me and energize me, help me, and of course everyone in the FA who's out here with us, because it was I felt it was on very high level. So I'm very excited to take the step into the tournament.
God, Thomas Tuchel speaking there. He's clearly loving being England manager, isn't he, Benson?
Yeah, he is, and he's excited. And this is what he's been brought in for. I mean, mate, he'll understand the pressure that he's on, because what Gareth did for England was brilliant. I mean, I know people are going to say, yeah, but he didn't win anything, but sometimes it's not all about winning. I know, listen, 99% of it is about winning, but when you talk about what in terms of where he picked the nation up from and took them to, he made England fans believe again. Thomas Tuchel will understand all of that. It wouldn't surprise me if he even spoke to Gareth, but it's about one game. He's been brought into, if England get to a final, that's where this contract that he's got, that's what he's earned. Is can he get them over the line? That's what he's been brought in for. We're expecting them to go deep in World Cup football. We're expecting them to go deep in Euros football. Euros, you'd probably say they've got to the last 2 finals, haven't won it. If England get to that stage again, the World Cup final, that's where Thomas Tuchel will earn that money, because that's what we brought him in for. Not for the qualifying campaigns, not for the group stages. It's about one game and it's the final.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Now, England's cricketers are up against New Zealand in their second test at the Oval. Let's get an update now with talkSPORT's Sam Elard.
Yeah, Rory, just approaching tea on day one. England winning the toss and bowling. New Zealand 166 for 4, so maybe just slightly edging the opening day. They went to lunch 75 for 2, so England picking up 2 wickets in the afternoon session. Nichols dragging on for 24, pushing a wide ball outside of his off stump. Josh Tongue taking the wicket. Then a really nice moment for Sonny Baker on test debut, picking up his first international test match wicket, and he got the big one of Rachin Ravindra for 33, who was starting to play some shots and starting to look really, really good. There was a shorter ball, wider ball, Rachin playing outside his off stump, taking the outside edge, caught really well by Bethel at Gully. At the crease at the moment for New Zealand is Blundell on 23 and Mitchell on 33. Mitchell dropped on 2 at leg slip by Jordan Cox really early in his innings. Matt Fisher, the bowler, angling a full ball into the right-handed bat, who tried to work it around the corner. It went into Jordan Cox's hands and came out. That could be a droply cost for England, because his partnership for the 5th wicket is worth 52 runs, and Jofra Archer has just bowled the final ball of this afternoon session. So it's time for a cup of tea, some scones, jam and cream, and we go to tea on day one of this second test match with New Zealand 166 for 4.
Cheers, Sam. Thank you very much for that update. You are listening.
Sorry, before you get to that, you looking forward to the game tonight? What do you think's going to happen?
Oh, mate, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. I've got World Cup fever. Yeah? I mean, I've especially got World Cup fever off the back of the football that we saw last night. Yeah. It was exceptional, wasn't it?
Do you know what it is? I just think the top nations, their top players, all of a sudden it felt like last night. Although I've loved the World Cup until this point. I think there've been some great games, great stories, great displays. It just felt like last night exploded.
Yeah, it did come alive. I think that so many of the big stars arrived.
Yeah.
It was that moment, wasn't it? And obviously Lionel Messi, he's upstaged the new generation.
Honestly, I couldn't believe, because I didn't stay up and watch that game, but when I watched the highlights, but I checked my phone first to see what the score was. When I saw Messi hat-trick, it just felt like he's still the man.
It's one of those, isn't it? It felt so surprising, and yet it's not surprising at all. Of course he did that.
Yeah,
of course he's capable of doing
I think it's the manner of the goals. The first one is obviously incredible. The second one just casually rolled it in. But the third one is just Messi. Yeah. You know, when he takes a touch, gets out his feet and then just bends it into that bottom corner.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm not Argentinian, far from it. But watching him at work, you can't help but just will him to do well.
Yeah, no, he's an artist. He's an artist.
Unbelievable.
And we're privileged to have witnessed it. Like, we are witnessing greatness with him.
Yeah, for me, the greatest.
No, it really is phenomenal, and hopefully we can see some of that from Harry Kane tonight. Let's hope that. Look, we're talking about the stars arriving. Like Harry Kane, we kind of need him to deliver on this tournament, don't we?
Well, I told you Mbappe would, so don't.
No, you got that one spot on. You are listening to World Cup Game Day live with myself, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent, live from O'Neill's on Wardour Street, ahead of England versus Croatia. Still to come, we're going to be joined by Alan Pardew here at the pub.
Neil, yesterday we had another French legend in the studio, in Emmanuel Petit, and I asked him. No, in fact, I didn't even ask him. He just offered it to us. He said that he thinks Mbappe is more important than Henry was to France. Who do you put above the other on that list? Who's a better player? Who's more important?
I think Mbappe is the main man. He's the guy for France, and actually he's had some tough time at Madrid this season, but with France. He's always there and he's always playing well. And I think when you look at the stats he scored, I think he's got already like 14 World Cup goals, yes. 58 goals for France. So he's the top scorer of all time. I've backed him from the start, and I believe he's got a big desire to prove like all the people wrong after his tough season, I'd say, at Madrid.
I remember as a kid growing up watching France, you had the great Michel Platini playing, who I think is possibly the best French player of all time. Is that how you guys see it over in France? Who is number one on your list?
It's hard to say, because I feel like most of the time great players are being recognized more when they retire. And I think that's kind of what happened with Mbappe when, you know, he was playing for Paris. Like he was criticized a lot, but then we left him, and you know that the League One in France is not the same with or without Mbappe, and I think that will happen to him. And I believe we've never had a player coming from very young age, like doing the things that he's done already. He's one of the World Cup. He scored so many goals. And so I think he will be number one on the list for sure, but that will probably happen at the end of his career.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app. We're coming to you live from O'Neill's in Wardour Street as we build up to England's first World Cup game against Croatia. It's lovely here, isn't it, Darren?
Yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Great setting. First time I've actually been there, I mean, back in the day when I was living in London, I spent a lot of time around here. When I was at Charlton and Spurs, just kind of in and around this area.
Swanning about London's fashionable West End.
Yeah, just cool area. But no, I've never been here, but it's a really cool spot. And you could tell the atmosphere's building. There's bucket hats everywhere. There's fingers everywhere. I'm talking about these yellow fingers here. These here.
Yeah, very nice.
These things here. But yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to get going.
No, it really does. It really does feel like the calm before the storm. England going to get our World Cup campaign underway. Really, really looking forward to it. Now, still to come, we'll be hearing from England captain Harry Kane ahead of England's opening game tonight. But just quickly, Bernardo Silva has joined Real Madrid on a 2-year deal after leaving Manchester City. And France's Adrien Rabiot has raised concerns about the pitch at New Jersey Stadium, describing it more like an artificial surface. Now, let's take a look at the latest odds with Bet365.
On the ball on talkSPORT with Bet365. If your bet builder on England versus Croatia doesn't come in, you actually get your money back in free bets. Max free bet varies per customer. Bet restrictions and T's and C's apply. 18+, gambleaware.org.
And Steve Freeth from Bet365 joins us now. Good afternoon, Steve.
Good afternoon, boys.
How you doing?
How are you, Freeth?
Yeah. We are doing really good. Looking forward to tonight, obviously. Cannot wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a real buzz. Can I ask you for the odds? England to beat Croatia tonight. How's that one looking, Steve?
Yeah, it's been a long wait, hasn't it? That squad's been questioned quite a bit, but there's still odds on to win England at 7 to 10. Croatia, of course, who have caused us England fans plenty of heartache over the years. They're actually 4 to 1 to win tonight, which might tempt a few. Just looking at the group quickly, they obviously dominate, and England are 20 to 1 not to qualify out of that group, and actually 500 to 1 to lose all 3 games. In fact, they're only 13 to 8 to win all 3. So yeah, England, the bookmakers are expecting England to win and win quite convincingly in that group.
What about the first goal scorer, Steve?
Yes, I mean, yesterday we saw Messi, Haaland and Mbappe. We had loads of people doing the treble of first goal scorers, those 3, and that was 47 to 1 it paid. And there'll be a lot running on to Harry Kane today, he's 15 to 4, so just a little bit shorter than 4 to 1 to score the first goal. He's 15 to 2 to score 2 or more, 33 to 1 for a hat-trick, and 12 to 1 to score from outside the box. I'll mention Jude Bellingham also, who's 9 to 1 to score first and 6 to 1 to be player of the match. And of course, Luka Modric, the Grandmaster, he's 6 to 1 to break the deadlock and 7 to 1 to be player of the match.
Cool, I love that. Also, Steve, we've got to keep across Portugal versus the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's live on talkSPORT 2 at 6 p.m. How's that one shaping up?
Yeah, I mean, listen, punters would have had their fingers burnt 2 days ago, Rory, back in Spain at 1 to 16. Portugal aren't as short as that. They are 1 to 4. But I'll tell you what they are backing. They are backing Ronaldo to score a hat-trick. Yesterday, Messi, of course, he was 33 to 1 to score a hat-trick. We've already had over 10,000 bets on Ronaldo scoring a hat-trick at odds of 14 to 1. So that will be very expensive. And we also have a big super boost, guys. 11 to 10 to 2 to 1. Ronaldo shot on target, Bruno Fernandes shot on target, and Portugal to win.
Steve, now this next one, I mean, this is incredible. After last night, as you said there, Messi, Mbappe getting a couple, Haaland, the changes to the top scorer odds after last night, I mean, they were all shown up. Has that changed much?
Yeah, big time, yeah. Messi was 20 to 1 on the outright before the game to finish top goal scorer. Wow. So he's into 11 to 4, Darren, and favourite, as you'd expect. Your man Mbappe has also shortened a little bit into 3 to 1, just behind, of course, 1 goal less. But, you know, Mbappe, the quality player that he is, you'd expect him to be in and around there. Harry Kane hasn't kicked a ball yet, but he's still the same price as Erling Haaland. So them pair are both 8 to 1. Havertz has 2 goals. He's 14 to 1. And I better mention that man, Ronaldo, 25 to 1 as it stands, without a goal to his name. Let's see what happens in the next few hours, boys?
Steve, you know, with the odds, I'm guessing you're kind of, when you're making these odds, so you've obviously got Harry Kane a little bit shorter than Haaland. Is that because you expect England to go further and play more games than maybe Norway and Haaland?
Yeah, I think it's the games, it's the group. Norway got that game out the way. They've got some tougher games coming up, whereas England, like we say, Darren, they're 1 to 66 to qualify out the group. They're 1 to 3 to win the group. So the goal expectancy, we're expecting more goals from England than Norway. And of course, Harry, I know Haaland's a prolific goal scorer, but it's all to do with that, really, the goal expectation of the both sides. And as it stands currently, England are favoured to do that. But of course, as we know, a lot can change in this game.
Lovely work. Thank you very much, Steve.
Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, Steve. Those were the latest odds with Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
On the ball, on talkSPORT with Bet365. If your bet builder on England versus Croatia doesn't come in, you actually get your money back in free bets. Max free bet varies per customer. Bet restrictions and T's and C's apply. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Tell you what, Darren. Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal tonight against the Democratic Republic of Congo, live on talkSPORT 2 at 6 p.m. He's going to be buzzing for this, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be hungry. It almost felt like a punch in the stomach when Messi won the World Cup back in 2022. And obviously the way that Messi started, because remember there was all that Messi wasn't sure if he was going to go with Argentina. Is he going to go? Is he not? I always felt he was going to play. But just seeing him score that hat-trick, and it's fair play, and that's why. Listen, I've got no issues if people say they feel Ronaldo's better. I've got no issue. I think Messi's the best ever. Some people will say Ronaldo, right? But I think the fact they push each other.
Yeah.
I know they
make each other better.
Right.
Like Man City and Liverpool that year.
100%. It's not. I know neither would say, no, I ain't worried about him. You best believe that they're looking at each other like. And Ronaldo seeing Messi do that last night. Is that no?
Ronaldo going to be so hungry tonight.
100%.
It's going to be brilliant. Now, still to come, we'll be hearing from England captain Harry Kane ahead of England's opening game tonight. But first, it's time for No Googling. And at 38 years, 357 days old, Lionel Messi is now the oldest player to score multiple goals in a World Cup match. We want to know, whose record did he break? We'll tell you after this.
Donald Trump has been given license to join the World Cup winners in their trophy lift, just as he did, as you remember, at the Club World Cup. The US president has already been told by FIFA, we want you, President Trump, to hand over the trophy to the eventual champions. I mean, I wonder, what does that look like as far as you're concerned? Is it right and proper that Trump, of all people, should be right in the middle of it all come the trophy lift?
I think it would be hugely popular if England were to win the trophy, if Trump wrestled the World Cup off Harry Kane and began to do a little conga. I think everyone in Britain would share my view that would be absolutely magnificent. No, I think it's got the potential to be quite embarrassing, but I think that Trump is quite savvy about the reaction to what happened with the World Club Championship. If he's not, his son Barron is, because his son Barron loves football, loves our football. He's actually an Arsenal fan. And I think he will probably have a quiet word with the old man and say, look, Dad, it should you get the trophy anywhere near you, don't try and grab it.
Well, as you know, Simon, who's right beside me here, always says politicians should stay out of football. So, Simon, why should they make an exception for the president?
Because you have to manage this man, whether you disagree with his principles or you agree with them, it's kind of irrelevant. In my ideal world, would have politicians nowhere near sports. So when the German politicians yesterday were saying they weren't going to come because they disagree with certain aspects of Trump's outlook, I said, hallelujah, more of that. The situation with Trump has a relatively unique feel about it because Trump is such an omnipotent character that it does add to the argument. But if I had my ideal world, I would be saying, Trump nowhere near it. In terms of being on the pitch, dealing with the trophy, that's someone else's responsibility, and it steers into the narrative that I always underpin my arguments with. Keep these politicians away from leveraging sports. Whoever it may be. So I can't have it both ways. I can't say, well, you know, I've got no problem with Trump, full stop. I recognise the fact that he's probably the most powerful man in the world, and he is, to some extent, omnipotent in whatever he does. But, you know...
So this is it. England are hours away from kicking off their 16th World Cup campaign with a view to win this for a second time. Croatia stand in their way, and the former England goalkeeper Ben Foster's outlined what he wants to see. I'll put this down.
And I want to see Jude Bellingham really step up, whether he starts tonight or not. I hope that he comes into the tournament and shows everybody the Jude Bellingham that we want to see. Less of the theatrics, just more of on the pitch doing it. And we've got the best striker in world football at this moment in time in Harry Kane as well. So if the big boys start to show up, I think we've already seen with some of the shocks we've had so far in this tournament, I think anything can happen in this one.
So what of Croatia? Ageless wonders or over the hill? We asked the Croatian football journalist Rory Jennings if the likes of Modric and co can still lead the team to success.
It isn't the question of whether they are still fit to lead this team, but in literal sense of the word, are they fit? It seems that Kovacic is the biggest question mark currently. He's still not fit. The pre-World Cup friendlies show that he's not really fit, so there's doubt on whether he's going to start today or not.
Messi, Mbappe and Haaland scored 7 between them yesterday. So, no pressure, Harry.
You're listening to World Cup Game Day on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. We're coming to you live from O'Neill's in Wardour Street as we build up to England's first World Cup game against Croatia. We're here because talkSPORT have created a lager in time for the World Cup. It's called So Good Lager and it's available in some of the best sports bars from across the UK. Make sure that you check out our website to find your nearest pub. It's so good. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. Now, still to come on today's show, we're going to be discussing who the best player at the World Cup actually is. But first, before the break, we asked you the first of our no Googling questions. It was, at 38 and 357 days old, Lionel Messi is now the oldest player to score multiple goals in a World Cup match. Whose record did he break? Darren Bent, do you know?
I do know because I heard it the other day, the question. Cameroon.
Yeah.
Roger Miller.
The iconic dance at the corner flag.
Yeah. Was that 94?
No, it was 1990, wasn't it?
No, he was 94 though, wasn't he?
1990, I think. Mate, 1990, I'm sure.
Listen, fair play, got that right.
I think 1990, but do you know what? Most of the time I'm wrong, so...
That's true.
I'm sure somebody will let us know.
I'm backing you there.
03717 22 3344.
90.
Get up there, Rory. It was 1990. Now, it's time to look ahead to tonight's Sports Bar Special with Burger King.
World Cup Game Day Sports Bar Preview on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction. Delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
Yeah, that's right. This evening, live over on talkSPORT's YouTube channel, Cundy and O'Hara will be presenting a Sports Bar special. And alongside them both, they'll be joined by a very special guest, which they've been deliberating over throughout the day. And we can now reveal that the guest joining them tonight will be It's going to be content creator and Manchester United fan Flex. Flex, sir, welcome to Drive.
I've got the nod. I have got the nod. I can't believe it. I feel like I've won a competition.
Yeah.
To be with you lot, I feel like I've won a competition, and to be with Cundy and O'Hara later on tonight.
It's iconic, isn't it? It is absolutely iconic. How are you feeling about being on there?
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be absolute carnage. I mean, if you must have been living under a rock if you haven't seen what those two have been on throughout the season, regular season, and then also with a lot of England stuff as well. So I am looking forward to it. I just want to see England play as well. You've been saying you got World Cup fever last couple of days. I feel exactly the same. I just want to get in there, good energy, good vibes, and just see England win.
What are you expecting from England? Because it does feel like we said it. We know the World Cup's thrown up some great results, great games, different stories, maybe players we hadn't heard of. I mean, Vosine is probably the one Cape Verde goalkeeper. Been incredible. But it did feel like last night it exploded, man.
It did.
All the big hitters just went, all right, it's our time now.
The big boys pulled up.
Yeah, exactly that. What are you expecting from England tonight?
First of all, I'm expecting a win. That's like first and foremost, I'm expecting a win. I think we get wrapped up in group stages, don't we? Where we've had so many mundane group stages, but we still get out of it more often than not and get to the business end. I know that it's Thomas Tuchel, so some people even don't want him to be there. This, that, and the other. They want to see great football. They want to see this. They want to see that. I want to see a statement made.
I was pointing at Rory when he said about don't want him to be there.
Oh, he thinks it's disgrace.
Yeah,
he thinks it's disgrace.
I do. But now's not the day for that.
Exactly. Now's not.
We're not debating whether England should have appointed Thomas Tuchel today. We kick off in a couple of hours.
We always get new listeners, so it's always important to update the listener.
They need to know who they're listening to.
If we were having a conversation 6 weeks ago, I would debate the merits of having a non-English manager. Today, it's just about the boys.
Yeah. I just want to see a win. It's not easy to win World Cup matches. There's been some upsets as it is, and you can look at that Croatian team and go, got a few pensioners in there. Come on, we should be destroying them. But the reality of it is that they've got experience. If we're not at it, all of a sudden the game becomes much more difficult than it actually should be. So I'm expecting us to be on the front foot. I'm expecting us to express ourselves. I think we've got confidence going into it. I really, really do.
Yeah, I do as well. But do you know what? You're right, Fletch. You have to acknowledge that Croatia are a great side. They're a really good side. They've got some excellent players. And in terms of the legacy, in terms of what they've done in international tournament football, they are iconic. However, England got to win tonight. We're a better side. We should win this game, and if we win this game, this is the tough one of the group, it puts us in pole position to secure top spot.
If anything, I'll be honest, I know what you're saying about the technicians of Croatia. I think it'll be probably more difficult against Ghana. I think playing in the heat with the physicality, them boys at it, I think we'll probably get a harder game against if we perform against Ghana than we will Croatia. But it is to do with how we perform. For me, if England turn up, forget whether I think Rashford should be starting over Gordon, and I've read that maybe Gahey might not even be starting, which is incredible.
It's crazy, yeah.
But to be honest, let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
It's enough to beat Croatia, whether Morgan Rogers starts in the 10 or whether it's Jude.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. So I'm expecting a good performance, and I'm expecting a W for sure.
Do you think if they're England draw, because we've seen it before, where where all the expectations and there's a draw.
Yeah, Euro '96.
Will that feel like a defeat, even though it's a draw and it's still a point on the board? Do you think that will feel like a defeat?
You know what? Now they've opened up the format, and basically anyone can get through. It won't. Spain just drew against Cape Verde, and there's no problems. There's no problem. There's no real. I don't want to downplay. There's no real jeopardy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
there is no jeopardy for going through. There is no jeopardy for going through.
We'll beat Panama no matter what happens.
You're right.
It doesn't matter.
England will progress. Yeah. I agree with you. We will be in the last 32, but in terms of what we need, in terms of the nation warming up, in terms of like the enthusiasm around this tournament, we need a win tonight.
You got to win. You got to win your first game. But here's the thing: as a nation, sometimes we don't know what we want. We talk out of both sides of our mouth.
Yeah.
We'll sit here and say, just win. If we win 1-0 last minute penalty, boring game, this is what I mean about Tuchel. Should have stayed with Gareth. What's going on? If we blitz them 4-0, not getting excited, mate. It's the knockout rounds where it really counts. I don't really care.
Or the big game was only Croatia.
Exactly, they're about 50. Modric shouldn't even be playing. Perisic, I didn't even know he still play football.
I don't think that will be the attitude.
Yeah, 100%.
We always do it. We don't. Do you know?
Go back to the Euros when they were here. Go back to the Euros when they were here, or even the most recent World Cup in Qatar.
Yeah.
Off the back of the good performances, we beat Croatia in the Euros here, and we beat Iran, Wales in the group stages of the previous World Cup. I think that we were totally behind the boys. I think that the atmosphere around the country was very supportive. I don't think that we're quite as snide as we once were around the national team.
I remember that first game against Iran where we won 6-2, and a lot of not the headlines, but a lot of the talk was, how did we concede 2? Yeah. They forgot about the 6 that we scored. Hold on, how did we concede 2? That doesn't bode well. Yeah, but we've just scored 6. Yeah, but the 2 goals, no clean sheet. It's a bit of a concern, and that's how it is.
That is how it is. It always draws massive opinions no matter what happens. As we keep going through the stages, we get more and more excited, but we always find things to moan. It's just what we do as English people. Like, we just always find a way to moan at the team, who should be starting, who should be starting. That was a great performance. No, it wasn't, but look at the opposition, this, that, and the other. There's always big talking points.
How good do you think this England side are? You know, if you were to rank the squad, or say rank the first 11, where do you think we rank in terms of this tournament as a whole?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say, of course, France are number one. I would say you've got to look at Argentina as well. Like, man for man, all over.
Yeah.
They possess Messi as well. You got to look at Spain. Like, you have to. I know what happened with Cape Verde. Everyone's going to start acting like Spain aren't a serious team.
Yeah,
but obviously they are.
I think Portugal you probably put above England player for player.
1 for 11 player for player. And then you're getting into Brazil. You don't really know how they're going to be, and it was a bad showing against Morocco, but they're going to tweak a few things. But
decent.
Morocco are a fantastic side, by the way. Maybe not 1 to 11 man for man, but if we have to play them tomorrow, I'll be extremely worried. Yeah. Put it that way. So I would say between 4, maybe 4th or 5th.
So would you say that this Argentina side are a better side than England? I know they're the holders, and they deserve respect for being the holders.
Do you know what it is? I just think they've got big game players. So they've already won the World Cup. They've got Messi, who's won everything there is to win.
Yeah.
I know we've got players in our squad that have won big trophies in terms of Champions Leagues at club level. But, you know, I always feel with England, whenever we play someone who we're not really expected to beat, we don't win. We go out. Until England, like a mental block, if they can play France, like France would have been the perfect time at the last.
Yeah.
Was it the
in
Euros?
Qatar, no, Qatar. Kane missed the penalty.
That game there, I think if England beat France, I think England can go all the way.
Yeah.
I think they can go all the way. But it's almost like there's a mental block. They come up against teams, even Spain in the final, where Spain were brilliant, right? But it almost felt like no one really believed that we were good enough to beat Spain because Spain have been there and done it before.
It's in those crucial moments. I wanted to bring something to the table as well, because me and Rory have been doing our show Inside England. Massive show. It's been doing really, really well. And
plugging our own show.
This is what is happening.
Come on,
right?
drive, plug another show.
Hang on a minute. You're an ex-pro, so we actually need your opinion on this, right?
Okay,
Rory said to me that England have got the second best midfield in the world.
I heard this.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At the tournament. I said Portugal's midfield is better than England's.
Yeah.
I could totally concede that.
Then he said after that, England.
Portugal have a better midfield than England. Yeah. After that, I think England's midfield is comparable to anyone's.
Is this true? Is England got the second best midfield at the tournament?
Again, I know it wasn't firing the other night, but I think yes, but Spain's in there, man.
Declan Rice gets in the Spain midfield though, doesn't he?
Okay, yeah.
And so does Jude Bellingham. So that's 2. See, Flex, this is funny. Flex is going about telling the world that he's right when he's wrong.
Hold on a minute. This is an English show, right? We want to be patriotic. Yeah. If I've got a chance to have Pedri and Rodri over Anderson and Rice, who are you picking?
Well,
who picking?
If you did a combined 11 of England versus Spain, is Declan Rice in the midfield?
I would put him in the midfield, yeah.
Yeah, is Jude Bellingham in the midfield?
What, so you're dropping Rodri or Pedri? Is that what you're
I'm not dropping Rodri, but I think I'm probably going to go Rice and Jude, probably.
England's midfield is the second best midfield at the tournament. And do you know what's happened? Flex has flagged this, and he's getting loads of love on social media. Everyone's going, Flex is the only one who understands it. And I'm like, no, I'm completely right here. You've just got people online telling you that you're correct.
Germany's. So Wirtz is in there, right? Or does he play from the left?
Wirtz is on left.
Wirtz won't be in the England squad now.
You got Pavlovic.
Are you having a laugh?
Wirtz would get in this England squad easy.
Has everyone gone insane?
This is what I'm saying. This is what we do. This is why other countries laugh at us.
Yeah. Florian Wirtz. We've left Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, and Gibbs White at home. You think we're taking Florian Wirtz after that season?
Elliot Anderson's never even played at this level. We're talking about something he hasn't even done yet.
You think that Florian Squirts?
Jeez, okay.
See, that shows what he thinks of him. And he's jinxing it. So if we have to play Germany now, and he turns up, it's your fault.
Wirtz doesn't get in the England side. That is a wild statement. Portugal have the best midfield at the tournament. England have the second best midfield at the tournament.
No.
England have the second best midfield. We've got a player of Kobe Mainoo's quality sitting on the bench. That's how good this England midfield are. Do you know what, Flex? Now that we've agreed that I'm correct, can I get your thoughts? You're a Manchester United fan. You go home and away. You know the club inside out. Marcus Rashford. Yeah. There's a lot of conversation around him. Do you think that Marcus Rashford should start for England tonight?
I always believe Marcus Rashford should be starting over Anthony Gordon every day of the week. Now, I don't want to be tribal about it because at the same time, we're here now. There's no point moaning. And I do think Gordon is direct. He's pacey. He will give defenders problems. And in this group, like I've said, it doesn't really matter who starts over who. The quality is there. But if you ask any right-back in world football who they would rather defend against...
It's Gordon, not Rashford.
It's Gordon all day
100%.
long. And it's not. And I think people see that as a disrespect. It's not.
No.
It's just a fact of football, in my opinion. in my opinion, it's a fact, that Marcus Rashford is obviously better than Anthony Gordon. That's not to say Anthony Gordon can't have a place to have a position to play, have a role to play in this squad. I think he'll probably end up starting, but for me,
Rashford's ceiling's higher.
100%.
I agree. I think he's the better player. Flex, just before we let you go, you are on the Sports Bar special tonight with Cundy and O'Hara.
Yeah.
It's a baptism of fire, right? It's a real honour to be on there. Can I ask you just a very quick question? Very quick. You know if it goes wrong, they're both very patriotic boys. You know if England find ourselves 2-0 down against Croatia, are you ready for that? How are you going to cope with that situation?
Well, I'll have to see who's being more unreasonable than who. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes Jay's going to rear his head and he's completely unreasonable. Other times, you know, Cundy's just taking the mick and winding people. If he starts doing it, I'll say, it's not the time.
Yeah.
It's not the time.
Yeah, mate.
Like, it's the first game. No, but Flex, they played well, mate. They played well. I know it's 0-0, but they played.
It's going to be.
I'll say Cundy's
it's
not
going to be unreal. I will certainly be tuning in.
Just bring a bit of decorum.
That's what.
Yeah,
That's
is that your role? Is that your role? I love it. Absolutely love it. Flex, I'm going to be locked in. I'm going to be watching you on YouTube. It's going to be incredible. Make sure that you don't forget to tune in to the Sports Bar special over on talkSPORT's YouTube channel just before 9 p.m. tonight. That's all thanks to Burger King.
World Cup Game Day Sports Bar preview on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live from O'Neill's in Wardour Street, Soho, with myself, Rory Jennings, Darren Bent and Flex. Next up, we're looking back on an incredible night for the big dogs at the World Cup, and we'll be picking a few players who we wouldn't mind being on our side signing off the back of this World Cup.
Iran played out a 2-2 draw with New Zealand, the lowest ranked team in the competition. But that's not the whole story. Post-match, the Iranian manager, Amir Galonai, claimed that his side were the most oppressed at this World Cup, Simon, and I think he's got a point, revealing they were thrown out of the US immediately after the game. They weren't even able to undertake a recovery session. And they were told, get on your way, and headed back to Tijuana, Mexico, their training base, a day before they had intended to.
Okay.
The manager says afterwards, it seems like others are doing the planning for us. That's a hint at the US here, with decisions made elsewhere. Our team is the most oppressed in this World Cup. The federation is absent here. They don't even have their own federation here.
Yes, listen, it's not ideal. But should that have affected the outcome in this game? I mean, yes, if they're playing a world-beating side or a side that's on an equal par with them, you can say that's a really unfair set of circumstances.
Simon, if they're playing anybody.
No, but let's have it right. In their favour is the fact they've got better players. So maybe the odds were slightly evened up a little bit. But as we saw with Troy talking about it yesterday, players staying in a different hotel in a different environment. Yes, the warm-down thing and those sort of things are not ideal. I understand that it's not ideal. But as we discussed yesterday, this is going to be the built-in excuse if they have a bad result.
Oh, come on. It's not fair, Simon. Never mind ideal. It's not fair in them.
It's not equitable.
No one else is getting treated like this.
It's not equitable. I hear you, right? And we know the reasons why, and whether we agree with them or not is a different discussion, right? But the bottom line is should they have been able to overcome New Zealand with all of that disadvantage?
But that's not the point.
Well, it is.
It's not equitable. It's not fair on them.
It is. Well, some could say that the quality of Iranian player and New Zealand having to play against a far better player is not equitable for New Zealand because New Zealand are far less capable of producing a side that's capable of performing against other sides.
Simon, the Iranian media isn't even here. The manager was saying, our own media isn't here, our own management team aren't here.
The Iranian media are not going to help them win football matches.
I get that.
So I hear the argument.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings, Darren Bent and Flex. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. We're coming to you live from O'Neill's Bar in Soho. And still to come, we're going to be discussing who the best player at the World Cup actually is. But just quickly, Danny Roll has left Glasgow Rangers after just 8 months in charge to become Red Bull Salzburg's head coach. And talkSPORT understands that Anthony Gordon will start for England tonight ahead of Marcus Rashford when they take on Croatia. Now, at 6 p.m, over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear Portugal's opening group game against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Ian Abrahams is watching for talkSPORT and he can bring us the team news with our friends at Burger King.
Game Day live update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction. Delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
The big question is, would Cristiano Ronaldo start for Portugal tonight? The answer is yes, he does. What a front four for Portugal. It's Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Pedro Neto and Cristiano Ronaldo. Behind them, it's a team which includes Vitinha and João Neves. As for DR Congo, their first match at the World Cup in 52 years. Last time they were there, 74 in Germany. They were Zaire. 4 of the back 5 either do or used to play in the Premier League. Wan-Bissaka at West Ham is still there. Twanzebe at Burnley was last season, and Bemba was at Newcastle, and Masuaku was at West Ham for 7 years. Further ahead of them, Edo Kembe was formerly at Watford, and Johan Visser leads the line. He's the Newcastle striker. Live on talkSPORT 2 from 6, it's Portugal against the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Cheers, Moose. That was all thanks to Burger King.
Game Day live update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Right, there's also been a wicket in the cricket. Let's get over to talkSPORT's Sam Ellard, who's watching England versus New Zealand.
Big wicket for England. New Zealand 188 for 5. Daryl Mitchell goes for 44. The 5th wicket partnership worth 81 runs. It was banged in short outside off from Sonny Baker on Test match debut. He's got his 2nd wicket. Bit of extra bounce and pace caught Mitchell by surprise. He looked to pull the ball, but he splices it terribly due to the extra pace and bounce. It is an easy catch for Gay at mid-wicket. So after the tea break, England strike early. Daryl Mitchell goes for 44. Blundell is unbeaten on 34, the new batsman of the crease. And number 7 is Glenn Phillips. His game is ebbing and flowing on day 1 of this 2nd Test match. England winning the toss, bowling first. We can play until 7 o'clock this evening. Game nicely poised on day 1. New Zealand 189 for 5.
Nice one, Sam. Right, now it's time to get a roundup of all the latest World Cup action on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Daily Tournament Roundup on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
And we can look back at some of last night's action as some of the big-name superstars arrived at the World Cup. First, Kylian Mbappe scored twice against Senegal as he became France's all-time top goalscorer. Then Erling Haaland scored his first 2 World Cup goals in Norway's 4-1 win over Iraq. And then in the early hours of the morning, Lionel Messi outdid himself and scored a hat-trick against Algeria to become the joint top goalscorer in World Cup history. Thierry Henry joined our friends over at Fox News and was full of praise for Lionel Messi.
Listen, we said before the game that this guy and the guy that we're going to see tomorrow, they're both on the moon. And he reminded us why he is who he is. And Argentina also reminded us that they are the oldest. Let's not forget about them. But Leo is just different. It's just a different topic. So, as you will say, when you give the back to the break or whatever, like Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry Kane, over to you.
Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland and Lionel Messi all turned up last night. Wasn't it great to see them in full effect, Darren?
Yeah, listen, we've had this discussion before. A new Mbappe. World Cups, he's different. He just turns into a different animal, different beast. And second half, because it was a bit flat the first half, wasn't it? But second half, when they upped the levels, you saw what they are capable of, France. So that's why I still make them the favourites. Messi was the one. I don't know why I'm surprised at what happened, because we know how great he is. We know how good he is. I mean, the last finish was beautiful into the bottom corner. But I was still, when I looked at it, smiling, watching it, because, and listen, we know he's got great quality. We know he's the greatest of all time. But for him to still be doing that at the World Cup, when the eyes of the world are on him, I thought it was incredible.
It was an absolute joke, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was an absolute joke, because You have to look at some of the narratives that actually start to form around Lionel Messi, because we're quick to forget them.
Yeah.
After 2022, right, he's won the World Cup now, on the way down.
Yeah.
Go and play with Beckham's team, on the way down, out there. When you think about it, all we're talking about is Lise, best player in the world. You know, Dembele's got the Ballon d'Or, Mbappe, this, that, and the other. He's still the best player in the world.
Yeah.
No, do you understand that Lionel Messi, I think now, from seeing that, and actually when I'm thinking about, he's been playing in the heat. He's been playing in the heat this whole time.
Yeah.
This type of tournament, actually, when you look at that team as well, it suits him. And I think, actually, he's going to reinstate himself, or actually we should never have even thought he wasn't, as the best player in the world.
To do this a week shy of his 39th birthday.
It's a joke.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It's an absolute joke what he's done. And I think that actually the conversation, I think we need to move it on. I think he's the best sportsman ever, across all sports. Because do you know why? If you look at the fields that he's topping within his respective sport, he's killing it for the most in history of almost every metric. Most Ballon d'Ors, most goals scored, even at tournaments, most goals scored for a club. Yeah. He's got the most amount of assists.
Yeah, he's
moved every single thing.
Now World Cup top goal scorer.
Joint World Cup. So if you want to talk about people like, I don't know, Michael Jordan got 6 rings.
Yeah.
Let's look at like people like LeBron. Yeah, that's great. Look at obviously, you know, Lewis Hamilton. Look at Muhammad Ali. Look at Tiger Woods.
Ali's the one. I don't think you're going to get anyone put him above Ali just because of what.
But we're talking about obviously the stuff that's happened outside the boxing ring.
I don't
what he stands for, who he is.
That's why it's difficult to put.
But
Messi
as a sportsman,
and it was so poetic the way that he did it. 20 years to the day since he made his debut at a World Cup for Argentina. He's played over 200 games for Argentina. It's unreal, isn't it?
What does help him though as well?
Stupid numbers.
Is that when you watch Argentina, right? And this is why you have to give credit to Argentina, the rest of the squad. They do what he's running for him.
Yeah.
And they're more than happy to do all of the running for him. But not only that as well, the moment they get into that attacking third, there's no ego. Where is he? Where's Messi? Just give it to him. Just give it to him. Now, I think that obviously will help prolong his kind of longevity, but I just think
do you want to play a game just before we break? Do you want to play a game to just demonstrate the brilliance of this man?
Yeah.
How many career hat-tricks do you think Lionel Messi has?
I think 87. He has 68.
It's a great guess. 61. 61 times he has scored a hat-trick.
I was reading something today. Goals and assists combined, he's got over like 1,300.
Yeah.
It's the most in the history of the sport.
No, he is.
This is the sort of thing we're talking about with him.
He is absolutely
so any GOAT debates, like, listen, I'm a Man United fan.
Do you think he's the greatest of all time?
There's no. What we need to start doing is not mentioning people alongside him. Let's leave Messi where he is,
and then
the others can debate.
It down.
100%.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. What we want to do, though, is we want to hear from you on this. We want to hear from your voice notes. Will you do us a favour? Get them in via WhatsApp on 03717 223344. That's 03717 223344. Just send us a short voice note on who you think the best player at the World Cup is, and just make sure that you tell us your name. Otherwise, we won't be able to credit you. We'll be playing a lot of them out a bit later in the show. That was a roundup of all the latest World Cup action on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They're here for it.
Daily Tournament Roundup on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
This is World Cup Game Day Live with myself, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. We'll get more from Flex shortly as he goes out and about in the pub to chat to a couple of excited fans. Next up, though, we're going to hear from skipper Harry Kane, who's been chatting to talkSPORT ahead of England's opener tonight on talkSPORT. Yesterday came, of course, with Spain being held to a 0-0 draw against debutants Cape Verde. I don't know if you're aware of it. The Spanish captain Rodri criticised their defensive approach to the game. Rodri. He said, "This is what he said. He said that's how they play. They don't get past midfield. It's a matter of improving our finishing."
I think it's arrogant. don't expect Cape Verde to get the position of the ball and to create many occasions against Spain. Spain is one of the best teams in the world. So the way he said that, I think this is disrespectful for Cape Verde. And I think you should look at yourself in the mirror because you should have done better than that to win that game. You had some occasion to score, you didn't, and I think you have to put credit on the Cape Verde players because I think they defended like lions on the pitch.
Let's not forget as well, Spain had 27 shots, 7 shots on target. Ferran Torres has got to score that one where it's the bar. Sometimes you've got to look at yourself, not at the opposition, are you? Look at. We don't want to go back to Arsenal.
Frustrations.
If Arsenal went open against PSG, we've seen what happened in the Bayern Munich game. You have to play to your strengths. And Cape Verde, like you says, defended like lions. The goalkeeper was outstanding.
You know, if you don't like their style of play, it's up to you to do enough, to win that game. I mean, I don't like those criticisms, when you meet opponents that are not at the same level. And at the end, you share the points, and you think, they were too defensive. And
done that before, Rodri.
Yeah,
it's Scotland that he did it.
Exactly.
The same thing, yeah.
So I don't like it at all.
Do you think we're going to see?
So this is it. England are hours away from kicking off their 16th World Cup campaign with a view to win this for a second time. Croatia stand in their way, and the former England goalkeeper Ben Foster's outlined what he wants to see. I'll put this down.
And I want to see Jude Bellingham really step up, whether he starts tonight or not. I hope that he comes into the tournament and shows everybody the Jude Bellingham that we want to see. Less of the theatrics, just more of on the pitch doing it. And we've got the best striker in world football at this moment in time in Harry Kane as well. So if the big boys start to show up, I think we've already seen with some of the shocks we've had so far in this tournament, I think anything can happen in this one.
So what of Croatia? Ageless wonders or over the hill? We asked the Croatian football journalist Juraj Vrdoljak if the likes of Modric and co can still lead the team to success.
It isn't the question of whether they are still fit to lead this team, but in literal sense of the word, are they fit? It seems that Kovacic is the biggest question mark currently. He's still not fit. The pre-World Cup friendlies showed that he's not really fit, so there's doubt on whether he's going to start today or not.
It's been 18 years since Croatia stopped us from going to Euro 2008 and 8 years since they beat us in the World Cup semi-finals in Russia. Harry Kane says England has grown since then.
A difficult ending for us. I feel like we was inexperienced in that moment to say. I don't think there was many people around the world expecting England to get to that semi-final. We got there through hard work and great performances, and then we just fell at the final hurdle. It was small margins, but I felt like on that day they just had a bit more experience.
It's live on talkSPORT this evening with build-up from 7, kick-off at 9. Elsewhere today, Sean Dyche has told us Argentina don't need Lionel Messi scoring hat-tricks in group games.
I think they'll be looking for Messi to really stand up when it counts, and of course he has done many times. Let me make that clear. I'm not suggesting he doesn't stand up when it counts, because he certainly does. But I think these games are getting the job done.
Messi, Mbappe and Haaland scored 7 between them yesterday. So, no pressure, Harry.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. We're coming to you live from O'Neill's in London's fashionable West End. We're on Wardour Street as we build up to England's first World Cup game against Croatia. We're here because talkSPORT have created a lager in time for the World Cup. It's called So Good Lager and it's available in some of the best sports pubs across the UK. Make sure that you check it out or go to our website to find your nearest pub. So good. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. Now, still to come, we'll be hearing from fans at O'Neill's ahead of England's opening game. But now it's time to get all the latest from the England camp with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
On England's Corner on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
To push it over the line and to try to put a second star on the shirt.
It's a great run by Michael Owen, and he might finish it off. Oh, it's a wonderful goal! It's Eric Dyer against David Ospina. Eric Dyer wins the shootout. England have won a shootout. Ghosts are exercised.
Every time you play for England, you have the opportunity to create these special memories that live with everybody in the country.
David Beckham, right-footed. Your country needs you. Your country has been rewarded. David Beckham scores for England.
We will try to go all the way. We will try to win this tournament.
Yes, that's right. England face Croatia live on talkSPORT tonight as we get our World Cup underway. It's a 9 p.m. kickoff with all the build-up that you will need is with Adrian Durham and the team as we're done at 7 p.m. And ahead of the game, Captain Harry Kane has been speaking to our England correspondent, Faye Carruthers.
Harry, leading England out to the World Cup, your third as captain. How special is that to you?
Yeah, it's something I'm extremely proud of. You know, just to play in 3 World Cups is pretty special, but to be captain in all 3 and lead the boys out again is going to be another special milestone for me. You guys know how much it means to be England captain and to lead these boys, so yeah, can't wait to kind of get this thing started tomorrow. It's been a long wait watching all the other games, so I think everyone's just itching to get out there now.
I mean, I know I was going to ask you that. What is it like watching it, you know, knowing that you're last up?
Yeah, I think it's different. I can't remember that we've had this long a wait before. I feel like it's almost always been a couple, 2 or 3 days into the tournament we've been playing. So yeah, it felt a little bit different because kind of as the tournament was starting, we were still kind of relaxing and kind of in that pre-camp stage where we wasn't getting too carried away. Obviously, since we've been in Kansas in our base camp, everything's obviously heightened a little bit. But kind of the last few days, obviously, it's hard not to watch the game. There's so many games on, you find yourself watching some, and I think ultimately it's just that itchiness to kind of get out there, the excitement to be playing in the World Cup, and I know not just me but all the boys are ready to go.
You mentioned how special it is to you to be England captain, but you also believe in this squad, as does Thomas Tuchel. So what is the message to the players for this opening match?
Yeah, just for them to be themselves. I think when we play at our highest level, like we did the other day in the friendly, I know it was only a friendly match, but we're an extremely hard team to beat. Both from a physical point of view, we can be really overpowering, and then from a technical point of view and attacking point of view, I think you see the players we have in the team and in the squad how dangerous we can be. So look, there's a long World Cup ahead. We're going to face some big tests along the way, and obviously the first game is always a big test to get off to a good start. But ultimately the message is about being ourselves. Be free. You're never going to regret going for something. So let's go and do that.
And it is a big test against Croatia, who you've faced in big tests before. Thinking back to that semi-final in 2018, I know we've beaten them since then, but what are your memories of that game in particular?
Yeah, obviously a difficult ending for us. Feel like we was inexperienced in that moment to say. I don't think there was many people around the world expecting England to get to that semi-final. We got there through hard work and great performances, and then we just fell at the final hurdle. It was small margins, but I felt like on that day they just had a bit more experience in those big games than us. Where you look at the squad now and the level all of us are playing at, the finals we're playing in, both England and obviously club football. I think we're a different team to what we was then. So we have to use all those experiences, especially me and some of the more experienced guys to help the newer guys. But even with the newer lads, sometimes I think it's nice for them just to have that freedom in their mind of no old memories or anything. You're coming here to express yourself on the bigger stage, and that's where you see the best come out of the players for sure.
Darren, do you know how much I love Harry Kane?
I do, yeah. You backed him, didn't you, when we had the old Mbappe-Kane debate?
I just love him. I just think Harry Kane, I just really... Look, I want England to win for so many reasons, obviously, but I would just love Harry Kane to be the man to take us to the tournament.
Yeah, of course. Listen, he's one of the best. He's one of the best. I think he's won a World Cup Golden Boot before as well.
Yeah, I think he's 18, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's won one. So, and coming off the season he's had, I mean, he couldn't be going into this tournament in any better in terms of confidence. Fitness-wise, we'd have to see that's been an issue before with Harry Kane. But in terms of the way he's played this season and what he's done for Bayern Munich, he's looked incredible. The goals, the assist, over 60 goals this season, he's been phenomenal. But as you said, this is the time now to kind of deliver. I think that's always been the debate, and that's always been my debate when we've had discussions regarding Mbappe, Kane. Is that I know I'm getting from Mbappe.
Yeah.
I'm still yet to see Kane turn up to a tournament and really grab it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, he's one of the best ever. That's not up for debate. But you get these superstars that, like Messi's done it with the last World Cup, where they turn up and they really grab it, right, and they go, right, this is my time. If Kane could do that for this tournament, oh my goodness.
No, it's exactly what you said. Look, Lionel Messi did it at the last tournament. We've seen players drive their team, drag their team to victory, sometimes victory that their team don't deserve. 100%. They just drag them there.
Yeah.
But it's what you said when we were having a debate the other day on this very show. We were speaking about Mbappe, and you said World Cup Mbappe is different. When there's a World Cup at the biggest stage, he arrives. It's completely different. Harry Kane, historically, at least for England, he hasn't done that.
No.
This is the one, isn't it? Because he's going into the tournament in the form of his life. He's got the silverware now under his belt.
Yeah.
There's no conversation around injuries or anything. This is his moment.
It feels like it's his moment. And it just feels like he's the... I don't think I've ever said... Listen, we know he's been number 9 for England for a long time, but there was a case, I think, at the last World Cup where people were starting to say, well, do you know what? Maybe he looks tired. Is he carrying that back injury? Maybe we should start Tony or Watkins. People were actively calling for maybe us to go a different route, and that wasn't the case. But now, I think going into this World Cup, there's no debate. Yeah. There is absolutely no debate. He is on red-hot form, but he's got to sharpen, and he's got to show us now that this is my time.
Yeah. We can't do it without him, can we? Like, whatever... England's entire trajectory in this tournament will be dictated by Harry Kane. If he doesn't have a good tournament, I don't think we can win it.
Well, he's the one player I feel in the squad we can't replace.
Yeah.
Like, I think Watkins, I'm a big fan of Watkins, I'm a big fan of Ivan Toney, but the gap between them and Harry Kane is massive. You look at other areas, I love Jude, I'd start him, but if he didn't start and Morgan Rogers started, I'd be happy with that because Morgan Rogers is fantastic. So I do think, in terms of players in the squad, he's the one player that, if he went down injured tonight, I'd be thinking, oh my goodness, what are we going to do now? Because you just can't find that replacement. But this is his time. He needs to show the nation that, okay, maybe my last few tournaments haven't been my usual high standards, but I've come into this ready to go.
Do you think you'll be feeling a bit more pressure because of the conversations we've been having? We've been discussing the brilliance of Lionel Messi. You obviously have acknowledged quite what happens when Kylian Mbappe gets to the biggest stage. Obviously, we've seen Erling Haaland massively turn up in this World Cup already. Do you think that will put added pressure on him, or do you think it's irrelevant?
It's never irrelevant. And listen, I played in that same position, and throughout the season, when you're, whether it be a major tournament year at the end of it or whatever, you're always looking across to see. Oh, well, I used to do it. I look across at the other England strikers, like what are they doing? Now, obviously, Harry Kane's on a different level. He's obviously on that world stage. He will be looking at this going, okay, what's Mbappe done? Like, he won't tell. He'll probably tell he's close in a circle, but he'll be looking at it again. I want to score more goals than Mbappe. I want to score more goals than Haaland. I believe I'm better than them. So, of course, he won't come up publicly and say it because it will, it's about England, it's about the country. But deep down, he'll be saying to himself, I believe I'm better than these guys and I'm going to show it at this World Cup.
Yeah, well, let's hope he does. From what we've seen from all the other teams, we've seen basically every team play now.
Yeah.
Where do you think England rank? Do you think that we should be particularly scared? Do you think our chances in terms of actually lifting this trophy, do you think that they're how high?
Well, I've got to see what happens tonight first, because it's easy before England have played to say, well, do you know what, I think we look great, because we might look awful tonight. But, I mean, France, I think second half looked brilliant. I think Germany looked good, of course. Brazil would have won where they've probably disappointed me the most, but then I feel like if I say that, I'm taking something away from Morocco's performance. But I think a lot of the top teams have almost shown up other than Spain.
Yeah.
But it's about England. First and foremost, about the result. I'd love England to play this free-flowing football and beat Croatia 4-0 and it's all singing and dancing how great we are. If that's not the case, It's about the result.
Just get the job done.
Get the win. And you know what it's like sometimes with tournaments. It's very rare you get a full tournament. I can only think of a handful of tournaments. The obvious one for me is 2002 Brazil, where from start to finish, they were just the best team.
Yeah.
They were above everybody. So it was easy for them. It's very rare you get a team at the start of a tournament that is unbelievable and they go all the way.
Yeah.
They almost build into it, and maybe this is the way England go today.
Yeah, I mean, it would be amazing to get off to a flyer and just
win
ease everyone's nerves.
Yeah.
Just like make sure that there's World Cup fever, make sure everybody is completely focused on this. And I think a victory will bring us together. So fingers crossed we can do that. That was a look at the latest in the England camp with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They're here for it.
On England's Corner on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
This is World Cup Game Day live from O'Neill's in Soho with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent, as we build up to England versus Croatia live tonight on talkSPORT. Still to come, we'll be joined by former Premier League manager Alan Pardew here at the pub. Next, though, we're going to look ahead to Portugal versus Congo, which you can hear over on talkSPORT 2 from 6 p.m.
Spoken about your battle in inverted commas with Bukayo Saka.
Yeah.
He's just spoken very highly about you in the press conference.
Yeah. What did he say?
He said you were his brother.
Yeah.
So give some love back to B.
No, he knows. We know. Everyone talks about rivalry and stuff, but if you see us, you wouldn't think that. Of course, we're competitors at heart for sure, and we play in the same position for club and country. So there's that natural competition, but it's not rivalry for sure. We know we're pulling in the same direction. We know we both have parts to play for club and for country. So whenever he's playing, I want him to do the best he can because he's an amazing player and it's going to help us win. And I'm sure he thinks the same. So that's really it.
It seems to be a bit of a theme, actually. Thomas Tuchel has almost created he's been very clear in everybody's roles, 2 players for each position and then, elsewhere. And that you're close, the people that you're... What does that do and how does it help?
Yeah, I think it's great, to be honest. And I feel like also we have such an amazing team where everybody knows how good they are. So it's like, it's not that you're going to be on the bench and you're rubbish. It might be that opponent, that team suits one player better or someone's in form. And, but like if you look at the last game, how the subs came on and won the game for us so easily. That's the strength and depth we have, and it's gonna be crucial for this tournament.
You impressed as well against Costa Rica. It was great seeing you back out there.
Yeah.
We've spoken previously about wanting to score more goals.
Yeah.
Is that the main part of your game that you're working on? Is being more clinical?
Yeah, definitely. I want to be more ruthless. I feel like to go to that level where I'm one of the best wingers in the world, I need to be. I need to score more, need to assist more. But besides that, I feel like I do so much for the team, irrespective of that.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day Live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app. We're coming to you live from O'Neill's Irish Bar in Soho. Bit of Ant and Deck there as we opened.
Yeah.
You got a favourite World Cup song, England World Cup song?
Is it New Order? John Barnes are out. I know that's just the standard answer, but
I think it's the best answer. Like it's certainly aged the best.
Do you know what? It has aged the best.
It's a great song.
Do you know what was quite catchy? Listen, I didn't buy the record. Vindaloo.
Yeah, Vindaloo's a banger. Fat Legs.
No, they're not a banger.
Yeah, it's a banger.
No, it's not a banger. You're not playing that in your car.
I played it in my car this morning when I took my kid to school.
Why?
Get her in the mood. Get her in the spirit.
Yeah, no, forget that. Turn that straight off.
No, she's gone into school singing Vindaloo. I think it's a great. It's
you are
top three.
Top three. Well, listen, I couldn't name three. So it gets in there because I couldn't name three.
Fair enough. Now, still to come, we're going to be joined by former Premier League gaffer Alan Pardew. But just quickly, Bernardo Silva has joined Real Madrid on a 2-year deal after leaving Manchester City.
They are honestly getting their business done, aren't they? Real Madrid. How many signs? So Dumfries, Bernardo Silva, Jose's gone in there.
Yeah.
I'm missing one.
Yeah, they have got some more going on. But they're making manoeuvres, aren't they?
Cucurella.
Yeah, I've pretended it never happened. Yeah, I've cut him out of my memory. They're going to be interesting, aren't they, Real Madrid next year? Box office with Mourinho.
It will be box office, but it can go one or two ways, can't it? It'll either go really well or the whole thing will just implode.
Be amazing.
Because there's big egos there, and no bigger than Jose, and rightly so, because he's a man. But
you mentioned the Dumfries signing.
Yeah.
What does that mean for Trent Alexander-Arnold?
He's got a battle on his hands. He had a battle in his hands with Danny Carvajal, who's one of the greats. Yeah. Now with Denzel Dumfries coming in.
Very interesting, and we will obviously keep you across that on talkSPORT. Also, France's Adrien Rabiot has raised concerns about the pitch at the New York, New Jersey stadium, describing it as more like an artificial surface. What do you reckon to this, the pitches, players moaning about the pitches?
Yeah, I get it. Obviously, NFL stadiums, and I fully understand that, but just get on with it. Both teams have got to play on it. I understand that the surfaces are going to be different, but just stop. You got the result. Just you know what I mean. Just keep it quiet. You've played well. You've won the game.
Yeah.
Rodri moaning about the way that Cape Verde played. Now he's moaning about the pitch. Just get on with it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now let's get a flavour of the atmosphere here at O'Neill's in Soho. Flex is chatting to some fans, and we can head over to him now.
We are here at Soho at O'Neill's. The England fans behind me, they're starting to get excited already. World Cup fever has started. Let's see how they're feeling. England are about to take on Croatia tonight. We've seen some of the big boys play. We've seen some of the big nations play. But now it's time for England.
Absolutely. We are the big boys. Absolutely. Have no fear. Back ourselves. Croatia, a bunch of old age pensioners. let's take it to them and smash them up.
Listen, if we start tempting fate, you've got Modric in there, you've got Kovacic in there, Perisic in there.
He should have been a coach or something at his age.
Listen, Harry Kane, there's been loads of people talking about Harry Kane. We've seen Mbappe yesterday absolutely announce himself. Messi does what Messi does. Haaland does what Haaland does. Kane needs to do what Kane does.
King Kane would do what he needs to do. He'll bag some goals tonight.
I like it. England in tournaments. We always say it's coming home. We always think we're going to win. Do you feel like it's coming home? Do you feel a different type of energy this time?
We've got to do it at one point, haven't we? Definitely going to win tonight. 2-1. Declan Rice is going to score the winner.
Oh, I like that. You're an Arsenal fan, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not? Just went straight to Declan Rice. That's how popular it is.
I think it's hot.
There you go, Dec. If you're watching, you've got admirers. First of all, who do you support, actually, my man?
West Brom.
West Brom, okay. When's the last player for West Brom to get an England team? Who's that going to be?
Probably Ben Foster.
I like it. Fozzie, yeah, exactly. If you're watching, he's been on White and Jordan. He's been talking a lot. Listen, there's loads of expectation going into this. How are you feeling? We've got Thomas Tuchel. Gareth Southgate's not here anymore. There's a lot of expectation on the team. Are you feeling good about what we've been doing under Thomas Tuchel going into this?
For me, Tuchel is a tournament winner. He is there to win cups and trophies. So I've got every faith in Thomas Tuchel and the England boys. We're going to bring it home this
Who do you think England's most important player is? If we're going to win, if we're going to go far, if we're going to be successful, who's the guy that's the non-negotiable? He has to just be at it.
It's got to be Harry Kane to start, but Jude Bellingham is boy from the end. So, Jude is big, man. He's really, really big. So, yeah. I was
going to say that as a Baggies fan, like with the Blues, is that all right? You can do that.
Yeah.
It's England.
He's bigger than the Midlands rival, so it's fine.
Absolutely. And for yourself, England, Do you think England fans get too carried away sometimes? Or always like it's coming home and it never actually does? Or do you think it's justified? The hype is real?
Compared to Australia, the hype in this country is unlike anything I've ever seen before. But I'm back in England tonight, and I think we're coming home.
Look at that. See, you can speak with chest like that when your team's already won. She's already got 3 points in the bag as well, the Socceroos. So as you can see, these guys are excited. They're ready to take it, and they're ready to get England the first 3 points. Come on.
Absolutely love that. Thank you very much, Flex, and we're going to be back with him throughout the show. Now, at 6 p.m. over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear Portugal's opening group game against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, we broke the news yesterday that their manager, Roberto Martinez, will leave his role after the World Cup. He's been speaking to the media ahead of tonight's game, and he was asked how he manages nerves within the squad, as Portugal are seen as one of the favourites.
The feelings of representing a national team in a World Cup, they are very natural, so we don't have to fight them. I think what you need to override them is with clarity. Clarity is what you do when you are on the pitch and in certain moments, that you cannot be guided by emotions and just feel that you have to do something different. It's a collective work, it's a sport that we need everybody to be thinking in the same line. And I think the national team coach and the technical staff need to constantly give that clarity, because that overrides emotion. But I would never stop a player feeling emotional about being in a World Cup, because it's beautiful.
Darren, where do you see Portugal in terms of the favourites for this tournament? How highly do you rank them?
Yeah, I rate them extremely high. The midfield defensively, they're set. I mean, the midfield in terms of keeping possession of the ball, creativity, endeavour, energy, yeah, they're there. My one concern is probably the biggest one would be the centre forward,
Ronaldo.
Yeah, because
help or hinder.
This is the problem. It sounds crazy to say a hinder, but I did a lot of the Euros with him up front for Portugal. He did them no favours. There were certain games where he looked like he didn't have that burst anymore. And don't get me wrong, you give Ronaldo a chance, he's still one of the best finishers on the planet. He will score, but in terms of out of possession, getting into the box, he looked a little bit more laboured than we've seen Ronaldo before. So that might be an issue. It just depends how many minutes. If they mix it up with Gonzalo Ramos, play minutes, and Ronaldo, then maybe I think that might help. But if you're expecting Ronaldo to play every minute of every game, that just won't happen.
What do you think he's expecting?
To play every minute of every game.
Do you think?
Yeah, that can't be the case. That just can't happen. If Portugal, Roberto Martinez is a manager in his own right. He's done some fantastic stuff, but he has got to be big enough and brave enough to make the decisions at the right time. And if that's taken off Ronaldo in certain games when they're losing or they're not on top, then that's what he's going to have to do.
How do you think Ronaldo feels about the Messi hat-trick yesterday night?
They're seething. Absolutely seething.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's no way that he wanted that to happen.
I'm expecting something big tonight, but whether he can do that and whether that's the case, who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see. A reminder that Portugal versus the Democratic Republic of Congo is live over on talkSPORT 2 at 6 p.m. and we'll keep you right up to date here on talkSPORT. Now, still to come, we'll be crossing live to the States ahead of England versus Croatia, live on talkSPORT tonight. But first, it's time for No Googling. We want to know, what is the longest gap for a country between successive appearances in a World Cup final?
I saw we had that. Oh, World Cup final.
Successive appearances in a World Cup final. We'll tell you after this.
The Tottenham Hotspur board and executive team are fully focused on delivering commitments that we set out to fans at the end of the season. We are all in. We're investing in it. You'll see more of this in the coming months. Is this evidence of what they're going to try and do?
Well, they can talk
to Ferenc Puskas for a medium if they want, but they're not going to sign Tonelli. He's not going to sign for Tottenham. But why? Because I doubt that he will see an upward move being Tottenham Hotspur, given that he's been at Newcastle, given that the expectation of Newcastle was far greater than ultimately he possibly signed on for. You know, the expectation was that the ownership would have pushed harder and higher. There's expectations of him being going to certain bigger clubs. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up at Arsenal, and the same thing happens to Spurs of Eberechi Eze as it does with Tonelli. Now, there's never been an issue with Spurs' spending, has there? I mean, I thought Spurs were spending 150, 200 million pounds pretty regularly. Both with this new ownership, laughable new ownership, and the previous incumbent management with Daniel. Yeah. So there was never an issue. They were spending 70-odd million quid on Dominic Solanke, weren't they, a couple of years ago? It's been about the wages. The wages are the issue that Tottenham Hotspur have found themselves falling foul of because they won't adjust their wage parameters, because they've got banking covenants that support their borrowings. So I never felt for one moment that these guys wouldn't spend more money. They've made so much bloody noise about how much money they're going to spend. I mean, they spent a wonderful investment in January of this year, didn't they, when they were banging in trouble, and they spent £35 million on Conor Gallagher, who they recouped by selling Brennan Johnson to Palace. So there's no surprise in my mind. There's no surprise in my mind that they will spend money.
Well, they're going to get Ben Heka. They might get to
Wow.
We don't.
Wow.
Yeah, but come on.
No, come on, what? If you're going to take on a top six side...
So this is it. England are hours away from kicking off their 16th World Cup campaign with a view to win this for a second time. Croatia stand in their way, and the former England goalkeeper Ben Foster's outlined what he wants to see. I'll put this down.
And I want to see Jude Bellingham really step up, whether he starts tonight or not. I hope that he comes into the tournament and shows everybody the Jude Bellingham that we want to see. Less of the theatrics, just more of on the pitch doing it. And we've got the best striker in world football at this moment in time in Harry Kane as well. So if the big boys start to show up, I think we've already seen with some of the shocks we've had so far in this tournament, I think anything can happen in this one.
So what of Croatia? Ageless wonders or over the hill? We asked the Croatian football journalist Juraj Vrdoljak if the likes of Modric and co can still lead the team to success.
It isn't the question of whether they are still fit to lead this team, but in literal sense of the word, are they fit? And it seems that Kovacic is the biggest question mark currently. He's still not fit. The pre-World Cup friendlies showed that he's not really fit, so there's doubt on whether he's going to start today or not.
Messi, Mbappe and Haaland scored 7 between them yesterday. So, no pressure, Harry.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent, live from O'Neill's Irish Pub in Soho. Still to come, we'll be having some fun with the very best of talkSPORT. Now, a moment ago, though, we brought you the second of today's No Googling questions. We asked, what is the longest gap for a country between successive appearances in a World Cup final? Darren Bent.
Argentina. And the reason why I know that is, listen, my mate's listening, called Ross. I promise you.
Did he text in?
He's a cabbie, right? Black cabbie, great guy. Anytime there's a no Googling, I promise you, he messaged me the answer within about 10 seconds. He's got it. Bang. Yeah, his knowledge is a joke.
Well, he was completely and utterly correct. 48 years between Argentina's 2 appearances, 1930 to 1978. So 48 years. Big, big. But now, England's cricketers are up against New Zealand in their second test at the Oval. Let's get an update now with talkSPORT's Sam Ellard.
New Zealand 237 for 5. They're 5 down, not 6 down. I told you in the bulletin that Tom Blunder was walking after tickling one round his pads to James Roux, who we thought took a good catch. Tom Blunder was walking, but the umpire wanted to go upstairs and check if the ball went into the glove cleanly. It did not. It touched the ground going into the glove, so Blundell survives and he's still at the crease. He's unbeaten on 43. Glenn Phillips has 35 runs to his name. His partnership is worth 49 runs and is a dangerous one, and in particular you've got to be careful with Glenn Phillips. He's an aggressive batsman who can score quickly and take the game away from you. A couple of half chances for England. Matt Fisher nipping a ball back into Glenn Phillips, hit him on the pad. There was an appeal for LBW given not out on field. It did look too high, and there was a chance for Jacob Bethel, a run out at point, throwing at the striker's end. Tom Blundell being sent back. Bethel missed the stumps and Blundell looked like he had just got himself back in. But the pitch is playing nicely. It's decent overhead conditions, and New Zealand are ticking along nicely. Lots of their batsmen have made starts, but none yet have been able to really push on and get a big score. These two, though, are well set as they just bring up the 50-run partnership for the 6th wicket. New Zealand are 238 for 5.
Nice one, Sam. Now it's time to slide into Game Day with Burger King.
Sliding into Game Day on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
Yes, as we round up all the latest from the World Cup, each day we'll be choosing 3 key talking points to discuss ahead of all the action. And there's only one place to start, isn't there? England's World Cup opener against Croatia, live on talkSPORT tonight. What are you thinking, Darren? What do you think? What do you think Thomas Tuchel's up to now? Do you think there's still any question marks about his starting lineup?
Nah, he knows. Right now he knows exactly who's starting now. He's got the tactics across. Might be polishing up on 1 or 2 situations, and then what are we now? We're a little way away from kickoff. The preparation's done now. The players now be relaxing, just taking their time, getting themselves into it, getting ready to get to the stadium. They're probably eating right now, actually, saying that. They're probably having their pre-match. But they'll be good to go. The preparation will be there now. They are ready to go.
Yeah. Do you know what we're hearing? That it's going to be John Stones and Ezri Konsa at centre-half.
Yeah, I don't get that. Honestly, my first choice pairing would have been Mark Gahey and Ezri Konsa. I think Gahey's been brilliant. I mean, I can't remember who was saying it. They said that he's had a pour into the season. You've seen him at the end of the season. He's had a fantastic... Not only that, he's had a fantastic couple of seasons. I think he's been brilliant, Mark Gahey. So I thought he was the #1 choice.
Yeah, I would have argued that it was Gahey +1.
Yeah,
like Gahey and then someone else.
I would have gone Konsa. I mean, the season that Konsa's had for Aston Villa has been incredible. No, they've won the Europa League this season. He's been ever present. He's turned into a real leader for Aston Villa. He rarely, and I mean rarely, makes any mistakes. Defends properly, clears it when he's relaxed in possession. Konsa's been brilliant for me. But if it is John Stones, then that just tells you how high Thomas Tuchel rates him, because he's barely played this year.
Yeah, it's a weird one, this, because Mark Gahey's been brilliant for England.
Brilliant.
He was actually our standout player at the Euros in Germany, wasn't he?
Yeah, when he got himself in the team, he looked strong, he looked fit, agile, aggressive, can play with both feet. It's a big surprise, but listen, when I think about silky centre-halves, of course Rio, JT spring to mind, the way they could play. John Stones is very much in that. I'm not saying he's as good as those two.
He's a good footballer.
But, silky, that brings the ball out, can play. If he had to play holding midfield, John Stones, he could do it. Yeah. Because he's that good of a footballer. I'm intrigued to see where he goes next, because right now he's got no club. He's leaving, obviously, left Manchester City. But, yeah, he's top. He's top draw.
Yeah. And what are you thinking tonight? What do you want? Look, obviously the result. Yeah. Do you care about the performance, or is it literally just get the result in the bag?
What I'd like to see, it doesn't have to be a free-flowing where they go and beat them 5, right? All I'd want to see is England win comfortably. There's no jeopardy. They don't really give up many chances. A clean sheet would be nice as well. That's almost the way you want to start, where Harry Kane gets his goal, so he's got the confidence. Yeah. Maybe Gordon gets a goal, so maybe a couple of your attackers get the goals, then maybe your more creative players get the assists, so their confidence is up as well. You get a clean sheet to the back four and the goalkeeper, they're confident as well. I think all these box ticking, I think that's what Thomas Tuchel will look at. There's no point winning tonight 7, and then the next game it gets gone. It's like jittery, and they draw. You want to just tick. Thomas Tuchel will have a list of boxes that he wants to tick, And I think if you could do that, I think you'd be happy.
Yeah, I do completely agree with that. Right, let's touch on a story now that we mentioned a little bit earlier. The France midfielder Adrien Rabiot has raised concerns about the quality of the pitch at the New Jersey Stadium, describing it more like an artificial surface. What do you think about this? Do you think it's a problem? Do you think Rabiot is right to flag this as a problem?
Maybe, but maybe the other players don't feel that, but maybe he feels that way. But listen, a pitch makes a massive difference. Anyone who's played on grass and then goes to artificial, it's completely different. The ball moves differently. Like how it feels under your feet, your boots is different as well. I remember playing with players that couldn't play on artificial pitches because of their knees. So you've got to take that into consideration. So I understand where Rabiot's coming from in terms of the surface and how he feels. But it's one of those where you just got to get on with it.
Yeah.
I think you've just got to get on with it. It will make a difference for certain nations. Maybe nations that want to move the ball, pass the ball quickly. Maybe they weren't able to do that. But that second half performance, to me, watching France yesterday, there was no issue with the pitch.
Yeah.
That shows me if they need to go up the gears, they can do that.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? When a team gets a result and then there's a bit of a moan coming out, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, Rodri was moaning the other day about the opposition's tactics.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's just about getting on with the job at hand, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. Rodri's moaning about the tactics because he knows full well, and so does the rest of the Spain. Anyone connected to Spain, that's the game they should have won. I mean, they had over 700 passes. 700. Do you know what I mean? I think I said it the other day. They had 51 touches in Cape Verde's box.
Yeah.
51. You have to convert that to goals. You have to. There's no excuse for that. So he's probably a little bit frustrated with the way that game went. Frustrated that they didn't win the game. But I expect Spain to get that right next time.
Yeah, I do as well. Right, let's finish with Scotland. Their next game is against Morocco, live on talkSPORT this Friday, kicking off at 11 p.m. Our very own Shabana Hearn is following the side throughout the World Cup this summer, and she can bring us all the latest from within the camp now.
Hello again from Charlotte, North Carolina. Good morning to you. It's just gone 10:15 here in Charlotte at Scotland's base camp. And we're at the open training session before we head back to Boston. You can see the guys going through their paces just behind me now, doing this session for the open media. And it looks like there could be a little bit of a setback for Scott McKenna because I can't see him here in open training today. He was part of it yesterday. We know he's been struggling with a calf injury. It's a bit of a niggle. He's been doing his own programme, but he did return to open training yesterday and he's not with us today. So perhaps he's still being managed on his own. Wondering what that means as we look ahead to the game against Morocco. We heard from Lyndon Dykes yesterday, who of course came off the bench against Haiti. And he was talking to us about how the guys enjoy him in a Scotland shirt when he's got a skinhead. Maybe brings out that extra steel, possibly. He said he's going to recruit some of the guys to get a Scotland tattoo once the World Cup is done as well. Later on today, we're going to hear from Ryan Christie, then we're going to pack up and we're going to go back to Boston and party on with the Tartan Army.
Lovely stuff there from Shabana Hearn. How do you feel about Scotland, Darren? Can you see them getting a result against Morocco?
As we sit here today, I'd probably say no, but there's no reason why they can't because Scotland have shown really good spirit. I know you spoke about the performance against Haiti wasn't that good, but we've seen them in qualifying beat big nations, play really well. And listen, Morocco and Brazil are the ones under a little bit of pressure because they need a result. They absolutely 100% need a result. So for Scotland, a point's not the worst result. That's 4 points for them. They're through. That's them qualified. So can I see them getting a result against Morocco? I can. I don't think they will. I think Morocco will beat them. But there's no reason why they can't.
Yeah, they've done themselves such a favour, haven't they? Getting that win, regardless of how impressive I thought it was, getting that win in the first game has now set them up.
There you go. They nick a point from the next two games, which is going to be difficult. They're through. 4 points, they're through.
Yeah, well, I suppose with the addition of this third place, like 8 third-place teams are going to make it through.
Exactly.
Scotland are nearly there. Like, they've got to be over the moon.
Exactly that. So I think it was good. Yeah, the performance maybe wasn't free-flowing, but getting that win against Haiti, that was the most important thing because that was the lesser side in the group. But now they'll take confidence from that, and Morocco might get a little bit desperate because they need that win as well. So it's all to play for in that group.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Do you want to see them go through?
Yeah, I don't mind Scotland. Why not?
Happy enough?
Yeah.
Good support.
You don't want him anywhere near it, do you?
Do you follow Shaban on social media?
No.
She put out. She's putting out an amazing clip. And look, I'm English. I support England like through and through. But she put out an amazing clip from within the stadium in Boston, where the Flower of Scotland plays, and she puts out a video, kind of taking in the atmosphere, encapsulating the whole atmosphere. It's goosebumps. It's an amazing... Yeah, the support that Scotland have taken to this tournament, exceptional. That could drive them a long way. How important do you think that could be?
Yeah, it's going to be huge. Absolutely huge. Their supporters travel in their thousands. Like they will get behind their team regardless, win, lose, draw. They're always there or thereabouts. So, yeah, for me, no, Scotland will I think will do well. I think they'll get... I don't think they will against Morocco, but they can. But... listen, their fans will be behind them 100%, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. That was a look at some of the day's key talking points, all thanks to Burger King.
Sliding into game day on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live with myself, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent. Still to come, we'll head to the Dallas Stadium for a chat with Adrian Durham ahead of England's opener against Croatia, live on talkSPORT straight after us. Next, though, we're bringing you the very best of talkSPORT.
I think all England have to do is win, and I disagree, Andy. There has to be a good performance tomorrow, because if there isn't, we already seen the kind of pressure that Thomas Tuchel's on for not picking, Trent, for not picking some of the players he's picked. They have to score tomorrow, and they have to perform well.
Yeah, but I understand why you would say that, but look at Spain, right? I mean, it was an awful performance, but we've seen teams start the competition really poorly and go on to actually win it. We've seen teams lose their first game and go on to win it. For me, as an England fan, although I will sit here tomorrow and say it was a terrible performance, but we won 1-0, if we win 1-0 and we get all 3 points, that, for me, is the most important thing.
Overall, but you don't compare us to Spain. No disrespect. We're nowhere near them.
I'm not comparing. I'm just giving you an example of a team that plays badly and doesn't get...
That's a bad example. That's a bad example because we haven't won, Andy.
Well, no. I'm not comparing. Argentina. I'm not comparing England to Argentina, but they have lost an opening group game and gone on to win the World Cup.
That's still a bad example, Andy, because these are teams that have won the World Cup.
Okay, Joe, what would you rather? Okay, what would you rather have tonight? An unbelievable England performance, Harry Kane hat-trick, we draw 3-3, or a terrible, one of the worst performances you've ever seen, and we win with a 90th minute penalty?
Well, Andy, of course we would rather win.
That's what I'm saying.
Those examples that you gave are with teams that have started badly and gone on to win the World Cup.
Well, no, I'm just giving you examples of teams that haven't started the competition well and gone on to the late stages. I don't think it's important that England play well tonight. I think it's important we win. What's key tonight? If number one thing that needs to happen, is it a win or performance? The number one, top of the list.
The number one thing that needs to happen, Andy, is we need to score and play well.
Yeah, but that's two things. What's top of the list?
No.
That's top two. What's top?
you have a pop at this song?
No, listen, I don't have a pop at anyone.
Banger.
It's about banger.
Banger.
I've never heard anyone describe Vindaloo as a banger.
Vindaloo is an absolute banger. Unrivaled. Absolutely unrivaled.
So you think it's a banger?
Unmatched and unrivaled. Vindaloo, top 3 of all time.
Give me your favourite garage tune.
Do Lally, Straight from the Heart.
That's a banger.
That is a banger.
You put Vindaloo in that bracket.
No, fair. It's a very good point, well made. Very good point, well made.
I mean.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent a Car, here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. We're coming to you live from O'Neill's Irish Bar in Soho, and still to come, we're going to be joined by former Premier League gaffer Alan Pardew. Legend. But just quickly, Hull City need to raise $6 million in player sales by June the 30th to avoid a potential points deduction in the Premier League next season. And Danny Roll has left Glasgow Rangers after 8 months in charge to become Red Bull Salzburg's head coach. Now, though, it's time for this. This is the best of talkSPORT and Friends, where we run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across talkSPORT and our sister stations. Let's kick things off with this morning's breakfast show. Andy Goldstein and Gabby Bonlahor were discussing animals.
Do you want a pet penguin, Andy, or not? Have you got any pets? Do you know what my favourite part of a penguin is? What? The wafer. Yeah, the penguin bar. Not the joke on the end of it, no. I don't think you get jokes on penguins anymore. Shut up. I don't think you do. You do. Where would the joke be written? On the penguin bar. What do you mean a penguin bar? It's a biscuit. Where's the joke? It's a penguin bar. I think you're a biscuit, mate. It is. Penguin's a biscuit. It is. It's not a biscuit. Do you know if a penguin falls over, it can't obviously get up and it dies? Do you know that?
Darren Bent, tell me your best joke.
I can't, trust me.
No joke? You haven't got one joke?
No, but it's my best joke. And my best joke, I can't.
You can't say on air. Fair enough. You a penguin fan? Chocolate or feathered variety?
I like a chocolate biscuit. That's what I'd call it. A penguin is a chocolate biscuit.
It's a chocolate biscuit.
Like a digestive.
Yeah.
Chocolate biscuit.
Fair enough. Have you got any pets?
No. I used to have a dog.
What happened to it?
Ghost. Sadly passed away.
Oh, R.I.P. R.I.P.
That's all you got for me?
That's all I got for you. Don't forget, Andy Goldstein returns with breakfast tomorrow morning from 6 p.m. alongside the one and only Darren Bent. Darren Bent on breakfast.
Right, yeah, trust me. Wow.
Mate, I'm going to be tuning into that.
Oh, yeah?
You're going to be knackered.
Nah, man, I'm an early bird.
You strike me as a tired man.
Nah, I can get up like that. Easy. Yeah. Over to the sports bar. Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cuddy were discussing music.
You've heard of the Beatles, right? Yeah, I've heard of them, and I've heard of Roger Moore, but I couldn't tell you what he looked like. You know what the Beatles look like? No, I don't. You don't know what the Beatles look like? No, no idea. You don't know what the Beatles look like? I've just answered your question. Do you want me to answer it again? No. What do you mean? I've heard. Do you know what Elvis looks like? Yes. That's Elvis. But the Beatles are the Beatles. Yeah, but Elvis was bigger than the Beatles.
Can you name the Beatles?
Of course. Everyone can name the Beatles, surely.
Got it.
John Lennon.
Yeah.
Ringo Starr.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
George Harrison.
Yeah. I think there was one more.
Oh, what, the guy that left?
Yeah, I think there's one more.
Yeah, there is the guy that left who Ringo Starr replaced. Pete Best. Pete Best, I think.
Oh, that might be good. That. Who's bigger, Elvis or the Beatles?
The Beatles. I'm patriotic, mate. Especially on a day like today. Not giving anything to anyone other than an Englishman today. The Beatles, undoubtedly.
Okay, who's better? Okay, who's bigger? Blazing Squad with English or Elvis?
Mate, Crossroads was a banger.
If you could form a band with any three people, who would you want to be?
Okay, me,
Frank Lampard,
Liam Gallagher, and Skibbity.
Skibbity, that is rogue. That. The Sports Bar returns at 11:30 p.m. tonight, should I say, taking your calls after England beat Croatia.
And let's finish off with some more Sports Bar, and they weren't happy with this caller.
The year's bad. He just got a year. Yeah, don't he? No, he doesn't come back until mid-June next year. Right? Is he still there? Moaning.
Whatever.
Whatever. You've been banned for a year. You've got a year's ban.
Ban from talkSPORT is a new low. If you could ban someone from talkSPORT, who would you ban?
What am I banning them for?
They're not allowed in the building. They're not allowed in the building for a year. You will never see them again. Well, for 1 year. Who would you ban?
Who would I ban for a year?
One word, Billy.
Nah, we need Bill. We need someone we can kind of, push around on that. Probably you.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair. I can't believe they let me in as it is.
Nah, of course not.
I honestly can't. Have you ever been banned from anywhere?
No, I've never been really banned from anywhere. I've been banned from driving.
Have you?
Kid, that's bad.
Have you been banned from driving?
Yeah, twice. But listen, that's not the point. Kids, you know what I mean? Drive safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the message I'm delivering.
Drive safe. Remember that Sports Bar special live on the talkSPORT YouTube channel with Jamie, Jason during the England versus Croatia tonight. Of course, you can find all of our shows on the talkSPORT app, where you can swipe between talkSPORT, talkSPORT 2, and all of our sister stations so that you never miss a moment. You are listening to World Cup Game Day live with myself, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent, live from O'Neill's in Soho, building up to England versus Croatia live on talkSPORT. Next up, we're going to be joined in the pub by former Premier League manager, it's Mr. Alan Pardew.
If England can get other players in their top form and scoring goals as well, not only Harry Kane, Bellingham playing really his best football that he played when he just went to Real Madrid, Rashford, Saka, and then also players on the bench coming off and being an important role in that, England can go really far and can go to the final. You know, it's that momentum that you need, it's that belief, and you don't have to play you don't really want to play your best football against Croatia. You in a way, you want to struggle a little bit, not play bad, play okay, struggle a little bit, winning 1-0 or 2-1 or whatsoever. Well, 1-0 preferably, and build your confidence and go on.
What have you made of Thomas Tuchel and the way he's handled the job so far? Are you impressed with him, Jim?
I like him. I like him a lot. He's got that likability. He, I was fortunate to sit next to him or sit close to him when, first of all, with the Chelsea games when he comes and watch Chelsea, but also with the final of the FA Cup, and when all the players came past him, he had an interaction with all players, and you could see the facial expression of all players. They all really like him, and all really take the time with him. Even his previous players, you know, the foreign players. So that says a lot about a manager. You know, you know yourself. Yep. Some managers you just don't want to speak to that you have worked with, and you just walk past them. Not one, you know. So in that aspect, you can see that he has a really good bond with his players.
So this is it. England are hours away from kicking off their 16th World Cup campaign with a view to win this for a second time. Croatia stand in their way, and the former England goalkeeper Ben Foster's outlined what he wants to see. I'll put this down.
And I want to see Jude Bellingham really step up, whether he starts tonight or not. I hope that he comes into the tournament and shows everybody the Jude Bellingham that we want to see. Less of the theatrics, just more of on the pitch doing it. And we've got the best striker in world football at this moment in time in Harry Kane as well. So if the big boys start to show up, I think we've already seen with some of the shocks we've had so far in this tournament, I think anything can happen in this one.
So what of Croatia? Ageless wonders or over the hill? We asked the Croatian football journalist Rory Jennings if the likes of Modric and co can still lead the team to success.
It isn't the question of whether they are still fit to lead this team, but in literal sense of the word, are they fit? And it seems that Kovacic is the biggest question mark currently. He's still not fit. The pre-World Cup friendlies showed that he's not really fit, so there's doubt on whether he's going to start today or not.
It's been 18 years since Croatia stopped us from going to Euro 2008 and 8 years since they beat us in the World Cup semi-finals in Russia. Harry Kane says England has grown since then.
A difficult ending for us. I feel like we was inexperienced in that moment to say. I don't think there was many people around the world expecting England to get to that semi-final. We got there through hard work and great performances, and then we just fell at the final hurdle. You know, it was small margins, but I felt like on that day they just had a bit more experience.
It's live on talkSPORT this evening with build-up from 7, kick-off at 9. Elsewhere today, Sean Dyche has told us Argentina don't need Lionel Messi scoring hat-tricks in group games.
I think they'll be looking for Messi to really stand up when it counts, and of course he has done many times. Let me make that clear. I'm not suggesting he doesn't stand up when it counts, because he certainly does. But I think these games are getting the job done.
Messi, Mbappe and Haaland scored 7 between them yesterday. So, no pressure, Harry.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. We're coming to you live from O'Neill's in Wardour Street in London's fashionable West End as we build up to England's first World Cup game against Croatia. We're here because talkSPORT have created a lager in time for the World Cup. It's called So Good Lager and it's available in some of the best sports pubs across the UK. Make sure that you check out our website to find out your nearest pub. It's so good. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. Now, still to come, we're going to be joined by Adrian Durham ahead of England getting our World Cup underway against Croatia. And of course, that game is live right here on talkSPORT.
The same familiar story has come back to haunt England again.
Well, we have now been consistently back in the matches that matter. So it's the last step that we haven't been able to do.
If you don't get the right person in place, I think some of the really good work that Gareth's done could go out the window.
To win it with England, it is a dream come true for me. So if there's still anyone doubting, we have to convince them on the pitch.
Unbelievable! A Jude Bellingham overhead kick.
We have an amazing crop of players.
With England, we've always got a chance.
It's Kane and it's Sharon!
He is the most important player for sure. Goal scoring is just relentless.
Saka turning it onto his left foot. Oh, it's a beautiful goal.
The reason why they went for Thomas Tuchel is not to maintain the status quo, was to win.
We will try to go all the way. We will try to win this tournament.
We're going to win the World Cup, X?
Absolutely.
And so, to the next instalment of the story.
Yes, England face Croatia live on talkSPORT tonight as they get their World Cup underway. It's a 9 p.m. kickoff with all the build-up that you will need with Adrian Durham and the team when we're done at 7 p.m. tonight. And you can continue to look ahead to that game now as we're joined by former Premier League manager, it's Mr. Alan Pardew. Welcome, Alan.
Good evening, guys. How are we doing?
Yeah, very well. How are you?
Good. Good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait. How are you feeling? Are you confident that England will get the job done tonight?
Well, watching the games last night, I just thought it went up a level, the World Cup, which was nice to see. So I think sitting around and waiting is not a bad thing for our boys. So I am looking forward to it. Yeah, I think we'll do well.
Well, boss, you know, when you were managing and you look at the expectation for the nation today and what they're doing now, Thomas Tuchel, how early in your mind did you know? Because obviously question marks are always going to be about who's playing where, what formation, all these type of things. But in your mind, when you were managing, How early did you know, right, this is the team I want to go for? And because there's always going to be question marks, right?
Yeah, of course. I think, you know, the last couple of training sessions, you pretty much know what your team is. Yeah. And unless something happens on the training ground untoward, like an injury or someone has a strain or something, you're pretty much set. All your staff would know, more or less, but you're not kind of confirming anything to them, because you know that's going to leak to the players, leak to the group. So I think it's a case of like keeping your cards close to your chest, but knowing pretty much what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And with regard to that, how pragmatic do you think he'll be? Like, you know, there's been a recent injury issue, hasn't there, with Tino Livramento? Do you think that the players that are going to feature, like not just starting 11, the 12, 13, 14, do you think he knows exactly what's going to happen, or do you think that he will be aware for whatever Croatia, who are a dangerous side, could throw at us?
No, I don't think he's kind of like got a plan B or a plan C, or what if this happens or anything. You kind of imagine how the game's going to unfold, but of course it never does go quite to script. So you got to think on your feet, and that's what great managers do.
What do you think the team's going to look like then? Because there's been so many question marks. I'm sure if we all sat here and gave what we thought the team would be, it'd probably be different. What areas are you concerned about? But what do you expect the team to look like? And you know, the areas of, there's no point me asking you about the goalkeeper, there's no point me asking you about the centre forward, but in terms of the 10 and the 2 centre halves.
Well, I think, you know, from all reports and the interviews he's done, Bellingham looks in a great place. He's going to start. There's no doubt about that. And if he starts, I mean, unfortunately, I think Rodgers will go to the bench, because I'd like to see him in the team, and I think a lot of people would. I think the two wide areas, the offensive wide areas, we're weak when it comes to France and Brazil and other countries. So that worries me a little bit. You know, and tonight, you know, there is a question mark. Who's Visaka going to start? Is Gordon starting on the left? I still think that at the top of the pitch, if teams really camp in and defend well, which Croatia do, I think it might be difficult for us.
No, I think you could be right, Alan, and we are going to discuss this in more detail imminently, but there has been a goal in the game between Portugal and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Watching for talkSPORT, it's Ian Abrahams.
7 minutes gone, Portugal 1, DR Congo 0. It's been all Portugal since the start, so no surprise they scored. Pedro Neto of Chelsea on the left-hand side onto his right foot to cross in for João Neves, 8 yards out, a free header, which he planted into the corner of the net. Portugal 1, DR Congo 0.
Game Day live update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Cheers, Moose. That was all thanks to Burger King. Don't forget, you can hear that one live now over on talkSPORT 2. Darren, I saw you there just motioning to your former gaffer. What a header it was.
Yeah, João Neves, I mean, the ball in is fantastic, but it's just he gets up so early and generates the power and just bang, far corner.
Yeah,
I mean,
listen, when you ask me a question, like, listen to the answer, because I could see you celebrating the goal.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah, no,
show some interest.
Header.
Hey, great header.
Wonderful
Great
header, and that's Portugal 1-0 against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Alan, to go back now to the England. Thomas Tuchel's been brought in. Regardless of the rights and wrongs of that or the decision-making process behind that, do you think that Thomas Tuchel is the man to lead England to glory?
Well, I have to say, you know, my instinct tells me that he's handling it really well. He seems to have the media on his side. That's important, you know, when you take over. He could have been a little bit cold towards them. I think he's been warm. He's smiled a lot. He kind of gives out a good vibe. And Darren, I tell you, you know, like, OK, I could get an analyst I know very, very well, who's about 23, who could set our England team up quite well and probably do some really great video clips and etc, etc. But it's about the manager selling the dream, selling the story, selling the tactical plan. And I think when I listen to him, he gives me that feeling that I would trust him if I was a player. And I think that's important, because actually, as a manager, you're a salesman. You're selling your tactical plan, and players have to believe it. If they don't believe in it, you ain't going to win.
Yeah. And what do you think about the challenge that Croatia will launch?
Well, I think Croatia, when you look at the stats of Croatia, they're a good defensive side, good midfield. Modric in the midfield will control the game. He will for large parts. And I know people say, oh, he's got no legs, and we can get around him. We've got a lot of physical bodies in that, good energy in that midfield. Anderson, Bellingham, Rice, etc. He still will find time. He'll go into the centre backs. He'll still find a pass, get it back, ask, and take the rhythm out of the play that we want to do. I always think England, when we play well, we play at kind of a good pace to our game. We're not a slow team, and I think they'll slow us down, and that could cause us an issue.
Do you think with the climate, a lot's been made of the climate, how hot it's going to be? How key do you think possession is?
Well, it is key, I think, in the World Cup, and more importantly, I think, is very much the transition and the energy levels you got for transition. Because after transition, if it doesn't come off or you give the ball away, it happened last night in the France game. Senegal got caught a few times in on an attack, and then they didn't get back in shape quickly enough. And that'll be good for England tonight. If Croatia come on to us, get a couple of counter-attacks, game could open up a little bit. And I think that's important. Sometimes you get very staid games where there's not a lot of counter-attacking. The game gets very tight, a low block. And that's why I think our wide players, for me, are going to struggle a little bit if we are constantly up against the low block.
On that, Alan, we've been hearing that it's going to be Anthony Gordon on that left-hand side over Marcus Rashford. Is that a decision that you would agree with?
I think when you think about what's happened to them, Darren's been a player much more recently than myself. But I would say to you, if you just got to move to Barcelona, your confidence would be sky high. And if Barcelona have sort of rejected you, you'll be feeling a little bit aggrieved. So I think on that front, on that kind of mental front, I'd go for Gordon. But also, the thing about Gordon that I really, really like is he can go either side really, really well. He can go down the outside, down the left-hand side and produce crosses, and he can obviously come inside and shoot with his right foot. I don't think Rashford's quite as competent going down on that left side. I don't know what you think, Darren.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I think Rashford has got a higher ceiling, but I think you're correct in terms of even Gordon getting the move to Barcelona, them not at the minute taking Rashford, but then you're in the same camp and watching him get the move to Barca. Like, I know Rashford would go, no, I'm happy for him and it's brilliant for him, but that would feel like a blow to me.
Yeah,
like,
he don't mean it. I mean, you know what I mean? He don't, does he?
Of course. No. But that would be a blow to me, but I understand. I think Anthony Gordon, where he is good, I think is that he just gives you different options. He can play on the right, he can play down the middle, and he can play on the left. And I think that versatility, I think for England, is why he's in the squad first and foremost, but I think he's more direct as well on that left-hand side.
I also think he has two other qualities, which I think are quite important in a World Cup. He's kind of antagonistic to other teams, right? Yeah. He kind of he annoys the opposition. He's got that. And penalties, if you touch him, that boy's going down. I mean, there's been incidents at Newcastle a few times when I've looked at him and thought, I'm not sure about that, mate. That didn't look like, that was a little bit past the normal. So that's not a bad thing when you've got Harry Kane taking them.
No. Do you think that'd be a factor in this World Cup? Because we've seen some, I don't know what you think, some of bizarre penalty decisions go for and against.
Yeah. I mean, last night's one. I mean, because you were a pace player. When you're at that pace, Mbappé's at pace, such pace, you only need the slightest nick. It can look really on TV. Sometimes I'm thinking it doesn't need to show that much contact because a little clip, bang, you're gone.
Yeah.
Darren, do you know what I've just noticed? You two were together at Charlton.
Yeah.
About 20 odd years ago, something like that. You still refer to Alan as boss?
Yeah, respect. There's a respect element, right?
Forever be boss.
Yeah, I can't call it Alan. Just doesn't sound right.
Forever boss. Love that. Ow. Absolutely love that. It's forever boss. Absolutely brilliant. There's more coming from Alan Pardew, Darren Bent and myself after this. Still to come, we're going to be inside the Dallas Stadium to speak to Adrian Durham ahead of England versus Croatia. All live on talkSPORT.
Neil, yesterday we had another French legend in the studio, in Emmanuel Petit, and I asked him... No, in fact, I didn't even ask him. He just offered it to us. He said that he thinks Mbappe is more important than Henry was to France. Who do you put above the other on that list? Who's a better player? Who's more important?
I think Mbappe is the main man. He's the guy for France, and actually he's had some tough time at Madrid this season, but with France, he's always there and he's always playing well. And I think when you look at the stats, he's got already like 14 World Cup goals, yes. 58 goals for France. So he's the top scorer of all time. I've backed him from the start, and I believe he's got a big desire to prove like all the people wrong after his tough season, I'd say, at Madrid.
I remember as a kid growing up watching France, you had the great Michel Platini playing, who I think is possibly the best French player of all time. Is that how you guys see it over in France? Who is number one on your list?
It's hard to say, because I feel like most of the time great players are being recognized more when they retire. And I think that's kind of what happened with Mbappe when, you know, he was playing for Paris. Like he was criticized a lot, but then we left him, and you know that the League One in France is not the same with or without Mbappe, and I think that will happen to him. And I believe we've never had a player coming from very young age, like doing the things that he's done already. He's one of the World Cup. He scored so many goals, and so I think he will be number one on the list for sure.
Welcome back to World Cup Game Day live with myself, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent and Alan Pardew, live from O'Neill's in Wardour Street as we build up to England's first World Cup game against Croatia. We're here because talkSPORT have helped create a lager in time for the World Cup. It's called So Good Lager, and it's available in some of the best sports pubs across the UK. Make sure that you check it out. You can find out all the information that you will need on our website, and there you will find what your nearest pub is. It's called So Good, 18 plus, please drink responsibly. Now, still to come, we'll be joined by Adrian Durham ahead of England versus Croatia, live on talkSPORT. But just quickly, Bernardo Silva has joined Real Madrid on a 2-year deal after leaving Manchester City. And there's also been a wicket in the cricket between England and New Zealand. Watching for talkSPORT, it's Sam Ellard.
needed. England have their 6th, New Zealand 267 for 6th. It's been a remarkable passage of play. The partnership for the 6th wicket got to 75. Blundell and Phillips playing beautifully. They've managed to get through an amazing short spell of bowling from Jofra Archer. He's hit Glenn Phillips on a couple of occasions. He hasn't got either batsman out until Jacob Bethell. The part-time spin of Jacob Bethell comes into the attack. Blundell got to 51 and he got out. Jacob Bethell, not his best delivery. It was a short ball, dragged down in truth, and somehow Blundell on the back foot, pulling the ball straight to Joe Root, who's short mid wicket. Joe Root taking a really good catch. So Blundell gets to 51 and he's gone. Glenn Phillips is still there, just about surviving this remarkable short spell of bowling from Jofra Archer, who is looking quick. Glenn Phillips is on his backside. This is unbelievable bowling from Jofra Archer, and somehow Glenn Phillips manages to survive. He's not out on 40. Nathan Smith yet to get off the mark. 40 minutes left on day one. Game is poised nicely so far. New Zealand 267 for 6.
That's a good spin.
Nice one, Sam. Thank you very much for that. Right, let's get a flavour of the atmosphere here at O'Neill's in Soho ahead of England's opening game. Flex is chatting to some of the fans now. Let's head over to him.
It's all right. A big win. Is that who you're playing next? I don't know about that. But you got a win already, so it don't matter. It don't matter. You're ready.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to head back to look at an incredible night in the World Cup last night as the big dogs arrived at the tournament. First, Kylian Mbappe scored twice against Senegal as he became France's all-time top goal scorer. In the early hours of the morning, Lionel Messi outdid them all as he scored a hat-trick against Algeria to become the joint top goal scorer in World Cup history. And of course, Erling Haaland was not to be outdone. He scored the first 2 World Cup goals of his career as Norway won 4-1 against Iraq. He spoke to the media afterwards and was asked about carrying his Man City form into the tournament.
Of course I will try. I think today you saw the same energy, I will say. You have to decide this, but I think when I think about how I played today, I think I played in the same way. So it's about continuing and don't think too much. It's difficult at this stage, but focus on next and of course be happy, but also stay calm.
Boss, I've got a question for you. Now, I'm taking Messi out of this because obviously, in my opinion, he's the greatest player of all time. If you could take one, you've got one place down the middle, centre forward. Kane, Mbappe, Haaland. Which one are you taking?
Yeah, Mbappe.
Huh?
Mbappe.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Why?
day.
Why?
Because he has an X factor and he can do things that other players just can't do. I mean, his speed and agility and the way he kind of carries himself, it is just on another level.
What about you then, Darren? If you could take one,
Mbappe,
Kane, Mbappe, Haaland.
I'm the same. I've been saying it for whatever reason at World Cups. For me, Mbappe just turns into a completely different animal, a different beast. And I know you get at club level, people are talking about the disruptions in the dressing room and what the entourage he comes with. But I just think when it comes to World Cup football, he just knows how to get it done. We've seen him score a hat-trick in one World Cup final. We've seen him win another. For me, he's just top. He's got everything. He ticks every box.
Do you think he's going to get the Golden Boot at this tournament?
Yes.
Do you as well, Alan?
Yeah, I would. I think it's a good bet. I mean, you know, that when you look at him, he takes penalties, which helps because obviously there's always crucial, tight games, particularly later on when your goal scorer will need to take a penalty. Yeah, I would have him down as definite favourite. But, you know, Messi getting a hat-trick last night, you know, you never know with Messi, do you? I mean, this guy is just incredible. And I thought it was a lovely moment last night, you know, with his dad being poorly. You know, he had those tears at the end. It just shows you how, you know, emotional this game can get. But when you talk about a man leading a line, taking a country on his back, Messi has finally accepted that. In the last World Cup at Qatar, that he had to do that and he won it, and he could do it again. I wouldn't put it past him.
Did that surprise you, that performance last night? Because
yes,
he played in the MLS, and listen, I don't watch the MLS every single week, but I'm sure the intensity is maybe not as high as other leagues. And then it was all the talk, will he be here, will he not? I didn't expect that game one from Messi.
No, I agree with you. I didn't either. So when I woke up this morning and see that he got a hat-trick, I was thinking to myself, maybe it was a tapping hat-trick. You know, like...
No, far from it.
It was the complete opposite. And he still moves the same way, doesn't he? You know, like we know as footballers, there's certain ways people move. And then once they get older sometimes, they don't move as fluidly. You can look at Ronaldo tonight. He hasn't really got that explosive speed that he used to have. Now Messi's never really had explosive speed. He's just quick over the ground, so quick, those little feet. And that looked like it was back in shape last night.
No, he's absolutely amazing. This stat shocks me. Just listen to this to demonstrate the true brilliance of Lionel Messi. He has now scored more World Cup goals after turning 35 than Cristiano Ronaldo, Thierry Henry, Diego Maradona, Rivaldo, Neymar and Harry Kane have managed in their entire careers.
Wow.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
He is. I think this is the World Cup where we're going to cement Lionel Messi. You know, up until this point, I feel like there's been a conversation. Maybe the best player of all time, the best player to ever.
No, I think that went out the window in 2022.
I would agree with you, but I don't think that's a general consensus. I think a lot of people still think it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Do you?
I don't. For me, Messi's the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, no, I do think there is a Ronaldo camp. There's no doubt about that. And the professional level as well. Not just, fans of the game. Like, people who are in the game have a different kind of concept of what they think is the greatest. I mean, when you look at Messi, it's very, very different to back it up, a World Cup win. It's not done often. And I'll be very surprised if Argentina win it.
Yeah.
But looking at him last night, you'd have to say that they're definitely in the frame.
When you think about, again, it was a little bit before my time, but Maradona, are there similarities between the two?
When I go back to Maradona, I always assume that he had more fire in him, which made him slightly, I thought, a more powerful player. That fire brought an intensity that I don't think Messi actually can reach.
Yeah.
He would if the game was going away from Argentina, he would go and grab it.
Yeah.
Messi's not really like that. The team have to do the job and get it to him, and he kind of takes it on from there. But on the other side of that, of course, is Maradona getting overhyped, got sent off in one World Cup, got banned in another World Cup for substance abuse. This is an edgy guy. I mean, in the top of his game, Maradona, I would probably still take him over Messi personally, right? When he was at Napoli and he was at the top. But Messi over the duration, I'd have Messi, for sure.
Yeah, I think I am inclined to agree with you there, Alan. Right, let's get an update from Portugal's opening game against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Watching for talkSPORT, it is Ian Abrahams.
Still Portugal 1, Democratic Republic of Congo 0. 28 minutes on the clock. We just had the ridiculous hydration break. It doesn't look that hot in the stadium, but Portugal have been threatening a second goal. Mendes was only denied by a really good tackle by Wan-Bissaka. The goal when it came, Pedro Neto's cross in, and João Neves headed home. Whistler of Newcastle had a shot just wide at the other end of the DRC, but at the moment it's Portugal 1, Democratic Republic of Congo 0. The game is live on talkSPORT 2.
Game Day live update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Cheers, Moose. That was all thanks to Burger King, and you can hear that game live right now over on talkSPORT 2. Now, still to come, we're going to be joined by Adrian Durham ahead of England versus Croatia. That game is, of course, live on talkSPORT. But first, it's time for No Googling. We want to know who is the oldest player to win the World Cup. We'll tell you after this.
Donald Trump has been given license to join the World Cup winners in their trophy lift, just as he did, as you remember, at the Club World Cup. The US president has already been told by FIFA, we want you, President Trump, to hand over the trophy to the eventual champions. I mean, I wonder, what does that look like as far as you're concerned? Is it right and proper that Trump, of all people, should be right in the middle of it all come the trophy lift?
I think it would be hugely popular if England were to win the trophy, if Trump wrestled the World Cup off Harry Kane and began to do a little conga. I think everyone in Britain would share my view that that would be absolutely magnificent. No, I think it's got the potential to be quite embarrassing, but I think that Trump is quite savvy about the reaction to what happened with the World Club Championship. If he's not, his son Barron is, because his son Barron loves football, loves our football. He's actually an Arsenal fan. And I think he will probably have a quiet word with the old man and say, look, Dad, it should you get the trophy anywhere near you, don't try and grab it.
Well, as you know, Simon, who's right beside me here, always says politicians should stay out of football. So, Simon, why should they make an exception for the president?
Because you have to manage this man. Whether you disagree with his principles or you agree with them, it's kind of irrelevant. In my ideal world, would have politicians nowhere near sports. So when the German politicians yesterday were saying they weren't going to come because they disagree with certain aspects of Trump's outlook, I said, hallelujah, more of that. The situation with Trump has a relatively unique feel about it because Trump is such an omnipotent character that it does add to the argument. But if I had my ideal world, I would be saying, Trump nowhere near it. In terms of being on the pitch, dealing with the trophy, that's someone else's responsibility, and it steers into the narrative that I always underpin my arguments with. Keep these politicians away from leveraging sports, whoever it may be. So I can't have it both ways. I can't say, well, you know, I've got no problem with Trump, full stop. I recognise the fact that he's probably the most powerful man in the world, and he is, to some extent, omnipotent in whatever he does. But, you know, I don't want...
So this is it. England are hours away from kicking off their 16th World Cup campaign with a view to win this for a second time. Croatia stand in their way, and the former England goalkeeper Ben Foster's outlined what he wants to see. I'll put this down.
And I want to see Jude Bellingham really step up, whether he starts tonight or not. I hope that he comes into the tournament and shows everybody the Jude Bellingham that we want to see. Less of the theatrics, just more of on the pitch doing it. And we've got the best striker in world football at this moment in time in Harry Kane as well. So if the big boys start to show up, I think we've already seen with some of the shocks we've had so far in this tournament, I think anything can happen in this one.
So what of Croatia? Ageless wonders or over the hill? We asked the Croatian football journalist Rory Jennings if the likes of Modric and co can still lead the team to success.
It isn't the question of whether they are still fit to lead this team, but in literal sense of the word, are they fit? And it seems that Kovacic is the biggest question mark currently. He's still not fit. The pre-World Cup friendlies showed that he's not really fit, so there's doubt on whether he's going to start today or not.
Messi, Mbappe and Haaland scored 7 between them yesterday. So, no pressure, Harry.
listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. We're coming to you live from O'Neill's on Wardour Street as we build up to England's first World Cup game versus Croatia. Now, a moment ago, we brought you the final no Googling of this evening. We asked you who was the oldest player to win the World Cup. Darren Bent, do you know?
And that's a goalkeeper. It has to be a goalkeeper. But that's as far as my knowledge goes up.
Alan Pardew, do you know?
I would have said it was a goalie. That was where I was going, but I can't think who.
What nation?
Italy.
Zoff.
Correct. Dino Zoff for Italy. In 1982, he won the World Cup. He was 40 years and 133 days.
40 years old, jeez.
40 years
What's
old.
Ronaldo this year?
Ronaldo...
It's 40, isn't he?
Ronaldo's 40... 42. Ronaldo's 42.
He can't be 42.
42.
I'm telling you now, he's at the next one, 46.
Ronaldo will be 42 this year if he wins the World Cup.
Wow.
So another record for him to potentially break. Now, following us from 7 p.m. tonight, Adrian Durham hosts live commentary of England's opener against Croatia. And Adrian Durham joins us now to look ahead to it all. How are you, Adrian?
I'm just fine. Cristiano Ronaldo will be 42 in February next year, but you were near enough. So, yeah. Is he going to win the World Cup? No, I don't think so, although they are obviously leading at the moment.
Adrian, it's Pards. Listen, I want to ask you a question. I mean, Ronaldo, I think he's done 6 World Cups. You've done about 28. So, what is your feeling of this, with this England team? What are you sensing with your experience? Tell me.
It's the only thing me and Ronaldo have got in common. That's apart from body shape, of course. That is the neither of us have won the World Cup. With England, I was feeling low on confidence for a long time this calendar year. So since Christmas, and I don't know. I mean, with players being out of form in the Premier League and big players, good players, talented players being left at home because they weren't in form, I wasn't feeling confident. But actually, since I've got out here, it's a strange one, but I've started to feel much more confident. I actually feel very positive about England's chances under Thomas Tuchel. It feels like he has a plan, and that plan applies to every game and the preparation for every game. These little friendlies he's organising for players who don't get on the pitch, etc., etc. So he's meticulously planning everything, and it's going to give us our best chance of winning it. Look, we've just seen, the superstars really properly turn up at this World Cup, at the first game in Mbappe and Haaland and Messi. So there's a lot to live up to. But I'm feeling positive parts about England, I have to say.
Good.
Hey, I've got to ask you then, the game tonight, of course, you want a positive result. But how important do you think the display is as opposed to the result? The result's the most important thing, we know that. But is it important, do you think, to set a message out to the rest of the tournament that England played really well?
Yeah, I mean, when we're talking about the little margins, that they say that Gareth Southgate couldn't get us over the line, which was absolutely true. He couldn't, and he didn't. But I've been looking and analysing and thinking about what exactly that means. So if you think about the group stage in Qatar, when we had the middle game was a really dull 0-0 draw with the USA, and the mantra was it's about getting out of the group, and we actually won the group. So I think that one of those percentages that could give us an advantage is if we actually stop thinking like that. Stop thinking, it's about getting out of the group. If we actually think about winning games and winning them in the right way, and he's talked about playing like a Premier League side, pressing and having a high tempo, and that's perfect in this stadium, by the way, because it's climate controlled, there's air conditioning, there's a roof on there, and no excuses. England will be and should be playing with tempo in this one against Croatia. But if we approach every single game in a really positive manner, rather than a draw's good enough here just to get us out the group, or a draw's good enough to win the group, get positive in every game, and that sets a standard and a mindset that could take you to winning the final in New Jersey on July 19th.
God, wouldn't that be amazing? Adrian, we have sat and we have watched every other side over the past week. The World Cup is a week old and we still haven't played. Do you think that's a benefit? Do you think it hinders us at all? Or do you think it doesn't really have any impact at all?
No, I don't think it has an impact because, as I say, Tuchel has his plan and he will have worked that out. And actually, they'll have got a good feel for, what's going on elsewhere and what standards are set and hydration breaks. In fact, I think that is an advantage. And Thomas Tuchel was talking about that yesterday in his pre-match press conference about the hydration breaks, which he described as changing the character of each half. So he's had a chance to have a good look at that. He won't be surprised by it. He knows what it's all about, and he'll know what to say to his players when they go in for what he called a change and a reset for the hydration break. I thought it was so they could have a drink of water, but there you go. So I think that it will actually have helped England more than anything else. But what I do know is the feeling I get from home with everybody I speak to back home is that they feel that the World Cup hasn't really properly started. World Cup fever hasn't started, but it is starting now, today, because England are getting going. And actually the feeling at the stadium is exactly the same among the England fans. They're arriving at the stadium and it's almost like they've won the game already, not in an arrogant, we're taking this for granted way, but in a way that says we're finally at the World Cup and they're ecstatic to be here.
Adrian, it just sounds amazing. Thank you so much for finding the time.
Cheers.
Cheers, Adrian. And Adrian will be following us at 7 p.m. tonight with all of the action from Texas. Right, we've been inside the stadium speaking to Adrian. Let's head outside the stadium now, where talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, is waiting to speak to us. How are you getting on, Crookie?
Good afternoon, boys. All good here. Lots of England fans milling around outside the stadium, including Three Lions superfan Andy Milne. He's about to go inside for what will be his 9th World Cup. Andy, how are you feeling about it?
10th World Cup if you include the women's. Yeah, Alex, buzzing now. It's been a long time coming and we've seen all the other teams play, but no, I can't wait. I can't wait for that national anthem to strike up, the match to start and our campaign to begin proper.
And obviously we've talked a lot in the build-up to this World Cup about how expensive it is over here in the States. You've gone to quite extreme lengths to make sure you're here for every England game and on to the final.
Yeah, there's been a lot said about me selling a house, but it's an investment property. We sold that, myself and my partner. It's part of our sort of pension plan, and I'm going to be using a good bit of it over here to pay for the trip.
So you've mentioned to me off air, you've been to the World Cup final every time you've been to a World Cup. Obviously, haven't seen England in a World Cup final. Could this be the year with what we've seen so far? A lot of the big nations maybe underperforming in their first game.
Do you know what? It really depends on this first game. I think that if we win this game, then we're en route to win the group. That puts us on a much better path through to the final than if we finish second. It's a crucial game, and yes, we've got the firepower. We've got the team. We could go all the way.
And big games call for big names. Jude Bellingham expected to start here in Arlington this afternoon. That was debatable probably a couple of weeks ago. Is that the right call from Thomas Tuchel? Bellingham ahead of Morgan Rogers?
Do you know what a tough call that is to make? If Morgan Rogers was starting, I wouldn't be upset, but I think I would have gone with Bellingham. So I think he's made the right call.
And how are you enjoying Dallas so far? Have you seen some of the tourist hotspots?
I've done my first rodeo. Yeah, I've been to see some country music. I ate a lot of local food. Had some brisket. I was taken out by a radio station to have frozen margaritas. So yeah, it's been great out here.
And what's noticeable is there's a lot of England shirts around us, but a lot of Americans are donning the colours of the Three Lions. We've got the home support as well as the travelling England fans, it seems.
Yeah, I think the Americans look for who is their closest ancestor and go for that team. So I've seen a lot of Mexican supporters over here and a lot of English supporters as well. So I hope we're going to be well represented in the stadium, and I hope that we get a really good atmosphere going with the with the true English that have come over, being able to lead the chants inside.
Give us a prediction very quickly.
I'm going for 2-0. Harry's going to score the first.
There you go, 2-0, Harry Kane to score the first goal. Andy's done his first rodeo. It's not Thomas Tuchel's first rodeo, though. Come on, England.
Cheers, Cookie. Thank you very much for that. And remember, all the build-up to England versus Croatia is live right here on talkSPORT with Adrian Darren when we're done at 7 p.m. Unbelievable support there from that Andy Milne. Absolutely iconic. I think anyone that's snide about him, when somebody dedicates their hard-earned money to following their football team, either their national team or their club side, it's only something that I think we should doff our cap at. It's amazing support, don't you think, Alan?
Well, I was slightly surprised.
Disagree.
No, I was slightly surprised when he said, "Oh, it was a business. You know, we sold one of our houses, part of the portfolio." I was like, not so sure about that. You know, if you sold the family home, it's a little bit different, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, he's an England fan. Well, we're all up for it, aren't we? And England at the moment we're on hold until 9 o'clock. And it's nice. We've got a great build-up. Nice in here. You can see it all brewing in here in this pub. And that's what it'll be around the country. Brilliant.
Yeah, the atmosphere really feels like it's building in Texas. We picked it up a bit there, didn't you think, Darren?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was nice to see Cookie wasn't arrested or having any more run-ins with the law.
No, not again.
But no, yeah, it's exciting. Obviously, 9 o'clock, all the pubs will be full. Everyone will be watching the game, and it's about England putting on a performance or getting a result. Your performance is nice, but getting a result.
Absolutely right. Let's get an update now from the second test between England and New Zealand. Watching for talkSPORT is Sam Ellard.
Approaching the end of day one, England has picked up their 7th wicket in comical fashion. Jacob Bethel has bowled a full toss to Nathan Smith, who looked to just sort of help the ball over the leg side in what should have been a pretty routine shot. Somehow gets the top edge on the shot. It goes high in the air and Jordan Cox takes the catch. So Jacob Bethel, with his part-time left-arm spin, has got 2 wickets. Only 10 minutes to go on what's been a pretty even day one of this second test match. New Zealand 280 for 7. They played really well throughout the late afternoon, early evening, as Tom Blundell made 50. He was out for 51. Glenn Phillips has just played a lovely uppercut over the wicketkeeper James Drew off a shorter ball from Jofra Archer. He moves on to 48. England winning the toss and bowling first. We've seen 2 wickets today on test match debut for Sonny Baker, 2 for 63 from his 15 overs. We've got 10 minutes left to play on day one. New Zealand are now 284 for 7.
Cheers, Sam. Thank you very much there, Sam Ellard. You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Up next, we'll be crossing live to the talkSPORT fan zone ahead of England versus Croatia tonight.
Iran played out a 2-2 draw with New Zealand, the lowest ranked team in the competition. But that's not the whole story. Post-match, the Iranian manager, Amir Galonoi, claimed that his side were the most oppressed at this World Cup, Simon, and I think he's got a point, revealing they were thrown out of the US immediately after the game. They weren't even able to undertake a recovery session. And they were told, get on your way, and headed back to Tijuana, Mexico, their training base, a day before they had intended to.
Okay.
The manager says afterwards, it seems like others are doing the planning for us. That's a hint at the US here, with decisions made elsewhere. Our team is the most oppressed in this World Cup. The federation is absent here. They don't even have their own federation here.
Yes, listen, it's not ideal. But should that have affected the outcome in this game? I mean, yes, if they're playing a world-beating side or a side that's on an equal par with them, you can say that's a really unfair set of circumstances.
Or Simon, if they're playing anybody.
No, but let's have it right. In their favour is the fact they've got better players. So maybe the odds were slightly evened up a little bit. But as we saw with Troy talking about it yesterday, players staying in a different hotel in a different environment. Yes, the warm-down thing and those sort of things are not ideal. I understand that it's not ideal. But as we discussed yesterday, this is going to be the built-in excuse if they have a bad result.
Oh, come on.
Here they
it's
come.
Not fair, Simon. Never mind not ideal. It's not fair in them.
It's not equitable.
No one else is getting treated like this.
It's not equitable. I hear you, right? And we know the reasons why, and whether we agree with them or not is a different discussion, right? But the bottom line is should they have been able to overcome New Zealand with all of that disadvantage?
But that's not the point.
Well, it is.
It's not equitable. It's not fair on them.
It is. Well, some could say that the quality of Iranian player and New Zealand having to play against a far better player is not equitable for New Zealand because New Zealand are far less capable of producing a side that's capable of performing against other sides.
Simon, the Iranian media isn't even here. The manager was saying our own...
Listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. We're coming to you live from O'Neill's Irish Bar in the middle of Soho. Following us tonight at 7 p.m, Adrian Durham hosts live commentary of England's opening game against Croatia. But right now, over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear Portugal against the Democratic Republic of Congo, and we're going to get an update now with Ian Abrahams.
And it's Portugal 1, DR Congo 1. Newcastle's Johan Visser's just headed in. It was a cross from the right-hand side, left-footed cross in, and Visser all alone, 6 yards out. Where on earth was the Portuguese defending? That's what Roberto Martinez will be asking during a half-time break. But it's equalised. João Neves early goal in 6 minutes. Neto with a cross in, and Neves with an equally free header, 7 yards out, powered Portugal in front. Over 500 passes in the first half, Portugal, but in truth they rarely threatened. Just to settle your debate about Ronaldo, he's the oldest player at this World Cup ever to play outfield in a World Cup of 41 years and 132 days. At the moment, he's not very happy. Half time, Portugal 1, DR Congo 1. It's live on talkSPORT 2.
Game Day live update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Cheers, Moose. That was all thanks to Burger King. And remember, that game is live right now over on talkSPORT 2. Darren Bent, what a goal there from Johan Visser.
Some header. I mean, listen, the marking is atrocious, but to get up and power it into the roof of the net like that, I mean, he's had a bad season at Newcastle, but that'll make him feel a whole lot better. Great header.
Yeah, how demoralising do you think that goal is there for Portugal to concede right on the stroke of half-time, Alan?
Let me tell you, as a manager, you got your half-time chat sorted, right, at 1-0. You know exactly what you're going to say. The arse panned out. That's just changed it dramatically. Yeah. Because that's a poor goal to concede. So Martinez got his work to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's a good goal for them.
Absolutely brilliant. What a hot second half that is going to be. Now it's time to hear some of your shared takes, all thanks to Burger King.
Shared takes on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
That's right, earlier in the show we were discussing who the best player at the World Cup actually is, and we've been asking you for your voice notes on that, and you've delivered. Let's hear what you had to say.
Forrest Jones here. There's two types of people in football. Those that think Ronaldo's the best ever, and those that understand football.
Messi is the GOAT.
I have to go Ronaldo.
Keith, Tottenham. Messi is the best thing.
It's Mickey P, big Forest fan from Nottingham. For me, the best player that ever lived is Zinedine Zidane, by some distance as well.
For me, hands down, it's got to be Diego Maradona.
Best player in the game, Bobby Moore. I say no more.
Thanks very much to all of you who got involved. That is all thanks to Burger King.
Shared takes on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Now, the best place to be watching England versus Croatia tonight is the official talkSPORT fan zone. We've teamed up with Aston Villa to create a fan zone at the Sports Illustrated warehouse at Villa Park for every single England game this summer. And we can head there now to speak to tonight's fan zone host. It's our very own Gabriel Bonlahor. Good evening, Gab.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we?
Yeah, very well. How's the atmosphere building there, Gabby?
I got here at 6 p.m, 3 hours before kickoff. There are already fans queuing up. They open at 6 o'clock. Fans are going to start coming in their numbers now. And this is my first time here, actually. Been inside this warehouse, Aston Villa's fan park. And it's amazing. So many screens, atmosphere is good. And also, I got a free bottle of gin. How good is that?
Oh, always a winner. Do you think England get the victory tonight, Gabby?
Listen, I think it's a must-win. I think, yes, you have to give Croatia respect, but if you look at a lot of the Croatian players, a lot of them in their mid-30s, you've got Modric, 4 years of age as well. We should have more than enough. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd put a bet on England to win 3-0.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much, Gabriel Bonlahor. Have a fantastic, fantastic evening. And
cheers,
just so you know, there are still some... Cheers, Gabby. There are still some last-minute tickets available for the game tonight. Just head to talksport.com/fanzone. Right, Alan Pardew, thank you so much for joining us. It's been incredible.
Well, I wouldn't say it's been incredible, but it's been interesting. And, you know, and I am one of those people that I love watching England play. I mean, even when I'm suffering, I love watching them play. So I'm looking forward to tonight. I think it's going to be a tight game, but hopefully we get it job done.
Amazing, absolutely brilliant. That's all from me, from Benty and from Alan Pardew here at O'Neill's Irish Bar in Soho. But don't go anywhere, because up next it's England against Croatia, live right here on talkSPORT.
The big result yesterday came, of course, with Spain being held to a 0-0 draw against debutants Cape Verde. I don't know if you're aware of it. The Spanish captain Rodri criticised their defensive approach to the game. Rodri. He said, "This is what he said. He said that's how they play. They don't get past midfield. It's a matter of improving our finishing."
I think it's arrogant.
Tell me.
Don't expect Cape Verde to get the position of the ball and to create many occasions against Spain. Spain is one of the best teams in the world. So the way he said that, I think this is disrespectful for Cape Verde. And I think you should look at yourself in the mirror, because you should have done better than that to win that game. You had some occasion to score, you didn't. And I think you have to put credit on the Cape Verde players, because I think they defended like lions on the pitch.
Let's not forget as well, Spain had 27 shots, 7 shots on target. Ferran Torres has got to score that one where it's the bar. Sometimes you've got to look at yourself, not at the opposition, are you? Look at, we don't want to go back to Arsenal.
Frustrations.
If Arsenal went open against PSG, we've seen what happened in the Bayern Munich game. You have to play to your strengths. And Cape Verde, like you says, defended like lions. The goalkeeper was outstanding.